the opponent every night. He's the best player in the NBA. And how did he answer that? Just magnificent in the last couple plays of the game, and then he took over the overtime. That's his greatness, and I love the way he spoke to his teammates in the huddle, Pop, and encouraged them, saying, hey, guys, let's tighten it up. Let's go. We're going to get this win.
And we have seen him look a little bit tired on road trips. That last three-gamer, Dallas, San Antonio, Minneapolis. But then when they come home, like they are now, and they're going to play tonight, they're off Saturday. They'll play Sunday at home. They're off Monday. They'll play Tuesday, off Wednesday, play Thursday. This is just a perfect schedule for him to freshen up, take a day off in between, and go play. It'll be perfect.
Well, it's no secret. Players love to play at home. They get in a pattern. They're like racehorses. You got to run them every day, and you know when to rest them. And, hey, these guys here have earned this because they had a brutal schedule after the All-Star game. So this schedule going down the stretch is perfect for them. And I just think they're ready to take care of these 4 games starting tonight. I think they're going to play really well. They're going to rise to the occasion because they're going to get challenged tonight by the Boston Celtics.
They always rise to the occasion. The one expression I would have for the brilliance of this team all year is late game execution on both ends of the floor. Whether it's Iguodala rising up and sticking a shot, a 1-2 pick and roll, and you can just tell when it's time to win. Draymond comes alive, they switch more aggressively, they rotate, and they extend. I'll take the Sparty green for Draymond. Yeah. Telling you, St. Lee, it's not St. Patty's Day. You know, when the Warriors were bad and the Celtics were good, it was 15,000 guys in green just like that. I don't want to see any more green tonight, except on Curry's feet.
Guarded by Hayward. Exchange to Klay Thompson. Open three left side. Doesn't get it. Livingston with the board. Outside Klay. Reloads another three. Got it! Klay Thompson with 15 seconds to go has tied the game at 89.
Klay Thompson said after that shot, I pride myself as a shooter to never miss 2 in a row. And thanks to Sean Livingston's offensive rebound, he got a chance to make that second one. And yet again, they go to overtime, and they don't lose. They are 6-0 in overtimes this year. The NBA record, by the way, for most overtime wins without a single loss is 8. Some of these games are my favorite all year. The Brooklyn game, the Utah game, the Toronto game, the double overtime game against Boston, the Clipper game. They had a big lead in that one. They gave away at the end a little bit, the OKC game and the Utah game. But St. Lee, the first time I thought they're going to break this record was the Brooklyn game. Klay Thompson did not play. They were not very good all night. Iguodala played so hard, and he makes that jumper to force overtime. Just incredible. Look at him get up there over Joe Johnson and stick that shot.
He's known to make late-game big shots. They ran an entry into the post and split with Klay and Iggy, and he knocked down the jumper. Here we've got now that pick-and-roll action.
This is Utah.
And this is amazing. Again, we hadn't seen this play very often all season. It was the 1-2 pick-and-roll. They switched, but look at, even against a quick young guard like Hood,
Rodney Hood,
he was able to create space for himself. That's what makes him the best.
January the 2nd against Denver, all of a sudden you're in a tight game. How did it happen? But Klay gives the Warriors a lead in overtime, and they wind up winning on a nice little pause there, Saint, and then the finger roll there. The game in late January in Philadelphia, that was a bad game. They were up big at halftime. Draymond wanted the triple-double, but at the end, he still made the great pass there to Harrison Barnes. Right corner, St. Lee. What do we say about the right corner pocket?
There he is, 76%. But that's the 1-4 drag screen with Draymond. Beautiful vision. He saw the rotation to him, gave it up. Uh-oh, Pop. There's the long
shot
one.
Of the year in the NBA.
Oh, my. Oh.
Salt Lake City to win it. Robertson, you better get up on him. Nope, we're not. That's it. We're not going to a second overtime. And they win. So a lot of times they blow teams off the floor, and there's no fourth quarter drama needed. But when there is, the late game execution on both ends of the floor, St. Lee, is just championship caliber. And I want to break down the play that tied the game at the end of the game Wednesday, because you love the action. They don't run this very much. The 1-2 pick and roll. 1 is Steph Curry, the point guard. 2 is Klay Thompson, the off guard. When they come together, what do the opponents do?
Pick your poison. This is side out of bounds. ATO, we call it after a timeout. So the ball is entered here off of a zipper screen. He shakes free. Now watch Klay. He comes and set the pick. They jump to the best player in the NBA. But the guy Ingles down here in the left corner is extremely late coming up to Clay. He misses the first one. What a great traffic rebound by Livingston. He throws it up, and watch the arc on this ball. First one was a bit of a line drive. He's ready. He loads it up. He knocks it down. He had Steph wide open as well. But that's the best backcourt in the league. What are you going to do against them? And it's a dilemma that a lot of teams are going to face. I love this play. It's because they're great players, it's very difficult to defend.
Look at that play even more. They're the two best shooters currently in the NBA together. They may be the two best long shooters in the history of the NBA, so you have to guard them far. Usually teams will double Steph on that. They wanted a hard show. Hayward came over, but Ingles, when he comes over to get Clay and he's a step late, he's leaving Harrison Barnes, though, in the left corner. So no matter what you do on that action, you're going to get a great shot.
Well, you almost have to over-rotate if you're the defenders. You have to make somebody else beat you. So it's about the distance between the opponent and the next guy up. So Ingles or Hood, whoever's over there in the left corner, they've got to be halfway up so they can rotate. They were too far away. But again, we call this relocation. When Clay set the pick, he just went about 15 feet away from Steph. The two guys, Steph's guy and Clay's guy, jumped to Steph. That meant he was open. And this is the brilliance of Steph Curry. He perfectly read the play. He makes the pass right in Clay's wheelhouse. He misses, but he's got the confidence to load it up again, and he knocks it down.
And the beautiful part of this play, they don't use it very much, but they use it when they need it. So when the opponents are looking at it, now they're going to know, what do we do on that 1-2 pick and roll when Steph and Clay come together and Clay sets the screen for Steph? You know, even after he made that shot, Utah could have won the game on the other end, which leads to late-game defensive intensity. They switch everything. They go out and get you. The Chicago Bulls called it unleashing the Dobermans. The Warriors just go out and get you. Gordon Hayward here. They just extend the defense, Saint, and they just won't let you get a shot off late in the game.
Note the switch and then the ability to keep the ball handler in front of them. No dribble penetration to the paint. There's no deep penetration. They create a turnover. When you switch and you keep people in front of you, then you don't have to get rotations. Watch this. Here's Clay. This is just brilliance right here defensively. Watch how he moves the feet. He's trying to shade him to go left because Hayward really wants to drive right. There's your pick. A little show.
Now.
Watch now. Look at Draymond at 6'7". He stays with a point guard and blocks the shot pop.
And then in the overtime, they just do it again, Saint. You could see them ratchet up the defense. When they crank the defensive intensity and they rotate like that and they help each other, that's when they're completely unstoppable, unbeatable on either end of the floor.
Yeah, Livingston made a great pick there, and now you see that action right there. Look at Harrison, Draymond step right up. No problems with the switch. You got Clay on the ball. Keep the ball handler in front of you. Contest the shot. Get the rebound. No rotations. That is great NBA late-game defense. Again, a switch. Watch Clay. Contestment. Ball gets thrown away. I'm going to share with you, it may look easy. There's nobody in the NBA that does this better than the Golden State Warriors. Yes, they switch 1, 2, and 3, but when Draymond's in there, he switches as well. And when they go to the small lineup, Harrison can do it from the 4 position. Nobody else has this in their defensive repertoire.
Are you ready for the stat of the year? I mean, they're 68-7. They haven't lost a home game all year. It's nothing but amazing stats. The opponents have had 11 shots late in regulation and overtime with a chance to beat the Warriors the late game shot. They've missed all 11. And it's not like they're just wide open and they're clanking them. They're like the one Shelvin Mack had. It's a tight contestment, and sometimes they'll block it right out of your hand. That's how good they are.
Well, you know, it's communication as well. I've got to let you know the screen is coming. Pick left, pick right. I've got to yell switch to you. Then I've got to know strengths and weaknesses, keep the guy in front of me, and I've got to get shot contestment.
All right, 69's a big number in the NBA. Only the Bulls did it twice in the 71-72 Los Angeles Lakers royalty in this league. That was Jerry West, that was Gail Goodrich, and that was Wilt Chamberlain. If the Warriors win tonight, they will be the 4th team in the history of the NBA to win 69. Quite a battle for Clay against, boy, he's got a soft shot lately, but Sullinger's got a big old butt, oh boy. Enjoy the game. Warriors basketball's next.
The Warriors had one of their signature wins in Utah Wednesday night as they defied a double-digit deficit to defeat the Jazz in overtime, setting a new franchise record for wins in a season. Tonight they face a Celtics squad that pushed them to the brink in Boston as Golden State needed 2 overtime sessions to secure a hard-earned victory. The Dubs continue their chase for history on an authentic Fan Friday right now. The Celtics in town, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Warriors have been perfect in this building. Undefeated. Guess what team they're chasing? The Celtics have the best NBA home record in history. All the streaks at stake with the C's in town tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett, and it is special when the Celtics are here. Jim was a first-round pick of the Celtics. It's one of those days on the calendar you circle, and it means even more tonight.
This is a franchise that has 17 world championships, and they're an up-and-coming team. Great coach in Brad Stevens, and they're trying to get the 4th seed in the East. They're playing good basketball, a young team.
Time for the daily update in the Western Conference. The magic number is 3 for the Warriors to put away the Spurs. They still don't know who's going to be 6, 7, or 8.
No, they don't, but you've got 7 games remaining for the Warriors, 5 at home and 2 on the road, and 2 remaining with that team in second place, San Antonio Spurs.
Magic number of 3. The Warriors do a lot of things in threes, including 3 All-Stars. You know about the Splash Brothers, but Draymond Green wins games for this team. In Utah, he made, wait for it, 3 big plays to get it done.
Well, you talk about the Swiss Army knife. Yes, he can do everything, but I think he makes his impact primarily defensively, because he just goes out and fights for every rebound, every bit of possession, and he's so terrific at helping everybody on the floor. He's a great help defender. He can also score. He's learned to shoot from three-point line this year.
He's done something no one in NBA history has ever done. Not Michael, not LeBron, not Magic. We're talking 1,000, 500, 500, 100, and 100. That in 47 years, that's amazing.
I'll tell you, if you don't believe in analytics, you've got to believe in these numbers, because those make an impact. They help a team win. But defensively, when he's on the floor, he can go against bigger players. He can switch 1 through 5. He can stay with smaller men. And when he switches, he jump switches. He takes away their shot. Just a terrific all-around player. He plays like he doesn't have a guaranteed contract, and I love players like that.
Steve Kerr calls him the heartbeat of the team. Draymond will handle the D, but when the game comes down to it, it'll be the point guards tonight that decides this one. When you look at Isaiah Thomas, this is the all-star for Boston, the pint-sized point guard, gets to the line, scores in bunches. He'll be dealing with the MVP. Avery Bradley will try to slow him down. The C's took the Warriors to double overtime in Boston. The Warriors try to stay perfect. Greg and Gary back at Oracle right after this.
All right, Warriors trying to extend the home record this year to 37-0, extend the NBA record consecutive home wins dating back to last year to 55, and also reduce the magic number. San Antonio Spurs are idle tonight, but remember, they've got 12 losses, so the most they can get is 70 wins. So if the Warriors get to 71, they will wrap up the #1 seed. That's one magic number. But a second magic number is 4 to tie the record. And a third magic number, the one you all want, is 5 to get to 73. They have to beat a scrappy Boston Celtic team. Welcome to Oracle Arena, the Crown Royal Club. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean. The Warriors have beaten this team 3 times in a row, Saint, but never by more than 5 points. They played the Warriors tough. How do you beat them tonight here at home?
Well, they're a very good defensive team, Pop. They're going to really get out and pressure the ball, and they're going to try to deny one pass away. To combat that, you want to move the ball, change sides of the floor, and move people. So you're not going to be able to attack right away on the first side. When you change sides and cut, you're going to be open then. they're not as strong in the inside as they are on the perimeter. And that's what's going to be the key tonight against this good team.
They have some great perimeter defenders.
They
We
do.
talked about Avery Bradley at length. Marcus Smart will play off the bench. St. Louis. He is a really good defender. So they have the guys to guard the Splash Brothers. Then on the other end, I wonder if it'll be a cross match. Klay Thompson did not play when the Warriors went to double overtime in Boston back in December. His length could bother Isaiah Thomas. Do you put him on Isaiah and not Steph tonight, Saint?
I think Steph will start on him, but obviously that's going to be the backup, and they're going to try to make him beat you over the top, not with dribble penetration.
All right, Warriors are going nowhere but up, but tonight they deal with the 17-time NBA champion Celtics. Enjoy. Warriors basketball is next.
Time for tip-off. Here is Fitz and JB.
All right, Draymond Green. Always wanted to be known as a winner. Well, guess what? That's why the Warriors win. Draymond, Steph, Klay, Oracle, and a 68-7 record against the Celtics team. It's 43-32. Lost to Portland last night in a really good game back and forth.
They played right down throughout the fourth quarter. Had a lead, 109-108. Then didn't score again.
San Antonio is #1 in defensive rating. That's points per 100 possessions. The Warriors are #2. The Celtics are #3.
They're very stingy. Brad Stevens understands that you may not be an all-world offensive player. You're not going to beat teams with offense, and he brings that college mentality, if you will. Slow down once in a while. They will push it up, but they like to play deep.
The Xfinity starting lineups with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut. For Boston, Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Evan Turner, Amir Johnson, and Jared Sullinger. Jay Crowder will not play tonight as he will rest. For the Warriors, no Iguodala, no Azili, and no Looney. Monty McCutcheon, Mark Ayotte, and Nick Booker blowing the whistles tonight. You will see Monty throughout the NBA Finals. One of the highest-rated crew chiefs in the league.
They start Evan Turner, Jay Crowder back from an injury as Draymond drops his first three. Takes up where he left off in Utah. With the Celtics, Jay Crowder missed 8 games, got ankle sprain March 11th, played last night in Portland. He's one of their key guys, and they don't want to play him back-to-back nights just yet. And Turner, former high pick.
Yeah, #2 pick.
Yep, can play.
Sullinger has all the moves in the post. Bogut walls him and makes him go off the block. Not nearly as effective. Klay running the floor, and the pass a little too far. Yeah, that double overtime game in Boston, the 24th straight Warrior victory to begin the season. And Brad Stevens, college coaches a lot of times have a difficult adjustment period. I think one of the smartest things Brad Stevens did was hire this Ron Adams character his first year in the league. And then the Warriors were smart enough to snatch away Coach Adams.
And Danny Ainge is going to be patient with Brad Stevens. He knows how quality he is.
Draymond Green with another three. Well, you mentioned Danny Ainge. He also has a contribution to the success of the Warriors, because it was Danny Ainge as Evan Turner hits the jumper. Then mentioned to Joe Lacob, hey, when you're looking for a GM,
right,
this Bob Myers guy might be pretty good at the job.
That's a deep, deep three, and that's, I guess, as Bob Fitzgerald would say, a heat check.
As was.
A little rambunctious for Draymond, and look at him come back and block a shot. It's a very guard-oriented team.
Sullinger rebounding the Turner miss. Klay may have grabbed his arm.
May have gotten away with it. I think it's important. Now you got Isaiah Thomas on Curry. It's going to be Bradley most of the time.
You saw Evan Turner waiting for that skip pass. Snatched it away. And Amir Johnson laying it in. The Celtics forced the second most turnovers on opponents in the league. So that good defense pays off on the other end. Bogut going to go himself with the right hand and rim it out. Avery Bradley, fresh off of holding Damian Lillard to 3 of 16.
Damian Lillard had a nice thing to say him after the game, didn't he?
Said he's the best on-ball defender in the NBA, and I don't really disagree. Clay slipped out of bounds, caught an edge, and just had the shoe go right from underneath him.
Yes, he did. Got a flat tire. In fact, that was a blowout.
That was deflected, still Boston. So Steve Kerr, there is Ron Adams. And Steve got a little more hardware. Third time Western Conference Coach of the Month. Warriors were 15-2 in March. Amir Johnson, deep position. Knocked out of bounds. To Boston now. This normally, when you go over the top, you can call the over-the-back foul, or you give the other team the ball.
This is a very guard-oriented offense. Most of the time, you're going to see Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, maybe some others tonight.
Evan Turner had nowhere to go. Draymond with the steal. Curry ran to the line. See Avery Bradley right in his jersey.
And he fought over that screen. Stephen beat him there.
Harrison Barnes. He struggled shooting those threes in Utah. Rails the triple tonight.
Curry gets a half a step on Bradley that sucked in the defense and allowed the open corner shot.
That may have to be Steph's contribution tonight, Jim.
Yep.
Because I think the guys in green are going to be all over the MVP. And that means his teammates are going to have wide open looks.
Well, it's not a great shot blocking team. I think you should penetrate as much as you can. And it always helps if you can rebound and run. Defend, rebound, and run. Then you break down the defense. That's too many turnovers in the early going.
The Warriors have already thrown 4 away.
You don't have to hit a home run immediately. But here, you can see. And it was Evan Turner who left the corner open.
3 players on Curry on that drive. Sellinger, the mid-range.
Yeah, he can shoot it there. That's why you're going to see Draymond Green at center a lot tonight.
Way did they go to Kelly Olynyk, who shoots 41% on threes as a center.
They'll go to that small lineup. They're going to have to.
Harrison off iron.
I like that, though, because that was a confident shot. No hesitation at all. He was going to launch it.
Warriors have opened 3 of 6. Boston 3 of 10. Sellinger going to shoot a 3. That's with Bogut flying at him. Jared Sellinger 28% from beyond the arc, but Boston ties it at 9, and Steve Kerr is going to use a quick timeout. 7:17 remaining in the first. The Celtics are legit. Draymond a couple threes to start it, and the Warriors are going to need everyone tonight.
Arena tie game between the Warriors and the Celtics. I'm alongside Rick Welts, Warriors president and COO. And Rick, you were just honored with the ADL Torch of Liberty Award, honoring those who bring others together and fight against bigotry and discrimination. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's very moving. What did it mean to you? How meaningful was it?
Well, you know, it was an incredible night. We had really our whole Warriors organization there. Steve Kerr told his incredibly powerful story of his family losing his father in an assassination in Beirut. You know, Jennifer Azzi told the world that she was gay and that she got married recently, that I've been texting her all day today. It was really a remarkable night. A lot of love in the room.
You know, about Jennifer Azzi, she said you were her inspiration. You inspired her. What does it mean? How do you carry that people are watching your steps?
Well, that was the proudest moment of the night for me. I've always been so proud of her as a player at Stanford and the ABL and the WNBA and coaching now, but to have her choose that forum to make that announcement was incredibly meaningful.
And you have Steve Kerr there, Bill Russell there. It's incredible support within the organization, outside of it. How does that feel to have everyone supporting you?
Just great, but, you know, I don't think you should be surprised, right? Isn't that what you see in every aspect of the Warriors franchise right now? I mean, it's such a family feeling, and things are, we could never imagine it going this well right now. And we love each other, and we like to show it.
Well, it was awesome to see, and thank you for joining us as always.
Thanks, Roz.
Guys.
I tell you, that was a great night. We love Rick. We're proud of him and the trailblazer he is for sports as well as the Warriors.
And what he's saying there, let me just add on to that. Another turnover. This organization is inclusive with everyone.
Evan Turner rimming it in, and Rick Welch was a ball boy for Seattle.
Yes.
He befriended William Felton Russell.
That's right.
Who was Jim's first coach as a player coach for the Boston Celtics.
And as Rick Welch will say, Bill Russell was a much better player than a coach with Seattle in those days. He was a heck of a coach, won 2 championships in 3 years as coach of the Celtics because he played for that team.
I was just going to say, Sullinger will draw the foul. The Celtics had scored 7 straight. Bill Russell, the coach, had this center named Bill Russell, the player, that made him really good.
He had a pretty good team to coach.
Now, spend a second on that.
Sir.
Player coaches, whether it be Cousy or Alvin Adels or Lenny Wilkins or Bill Russell, what was it like in that era having a player coach?
Well, you just accepted it. It wasn't anything different. And, he was just the coach. There was no assistant coach either. So that was it.
All Warrior games are streamed live in the NBC Sports Live Extra app on your mobile phone or tablet. Stream the Warriors on the go.
Dave DeBusschere was 24 years old, and he was a player coach for a while in Detroit at age 24.
So the free throws misfiring.
I think you have to be special to do that, but Lenny Wilkins is successful, and this has been pretty sloppy for the Warriors. They can't score because they can't hang on to the ball.
And Bogut got to foul Amir Johnson. Well, it's not only that the Warriors are shooting 38%, but it took 6 minutes in the game before Steph or Clay took a shot. That's how good the guard defense is for Boston.
Well, I think the game plan tonight for Brad Stevens is slow these guys down. That's what they wanted to do with Lillard and McCollum last night. Make them work for their shots, make them work for their points.
It really, in my mind, is the way to beat the Warriors. Steph and Clay averaged 52 between the two of them. And so you're not going to beat the Warriors if the Splash Brothers are rolling.
Well, give me the points for the starting backcourt for both teams.
Zeros all the way around.
All the way.
And the reason when you put all the defensive attention on Steph and Clay, what you're saying is, I dare Harrison Barnes or Draymond or Bogut to beat me with their offense.
Well, that's what you said before the game, I think, with Reagan Gary up top there, because you've got to get some other kind of production. You cannot just wait for Stephen Curry to come out with a 30-point night. It may not be there.
So Barbosa and Varejao, boys from Brazil, checking in. See all the attention on Steph wherever he goes, and Varejao rebounding the miss.
First it was Thomas on Stephen, and then when he beat Thomas, there was Bradley. And let me tell you, these people move their feet. They draw fouls, they give help, and they disrupt you.
Brad Stevens spotted by Danny Ainge, taken out of Butler, and already has the respect of many of the elite coaches in the NBA. This Celtics team play in his image, and they play exceptional defense. Varejao inside. Other Warriors are going to have their chance to score tonight.
Well, I love that. The skip pass, and then you don't stand and watch and assume he's going to shoot. I love the way Varejao, just a direct cut to the basket and get the ball in the lane.
Sullinger misfiring. Curry with a rebound.
He had to wait for that pass to Barbosa, otherwise he's off to the races.
Draymond missing that three. Sullinger will track it down.
This guy likes to shoot.
Isaiah Thomas missing the three, and Varejao hustling for the rebound.
Nice to have long arms.
Good hands. Draymond running it back, and a collision in midair, and he'll get to the line.
That's the way to attack. Now the Stephen Curry pass, he goes to the right, he goes to the left corner. Watch Varejao. He takes up the empty space and goes to the open spot. because the shot in the corner was taken away. Then what do? Well, oh, I better run down there, but it's too late. So he made his move to get to the open spot and made himself available.
Sometimes you drive to get fouled. You always talk about that. Hold on to it. Make sure you get contact.
Yeah, and if he disappears, you lay it in. If he doesn't hit you too hard, you lay it in and get an and one. But he absolutely decided, I'm going to get fouled.
Yep. And Draymond's got 8. So Steph and Clay 0 for 3 between the two of them, and yet the Warriors still have the lead.
Bradley and Thomas 0 for 6. Not the way I would have drawn it up.
Avery Bradley dropping in the wing jumper.
Sullinger has a little limp here, sprained an ankle.
Bergeron will get to the line. Now, is this goaltending? Had it hit the backboard? There'll be 2 free throws. Steve saying, would you ask Nick or Monty if it hit the board? And I think it did.
Oh, Steve, that got him ruffled.
Well, the other officials have to help out Mark Ayotte here. And hit the backboard. Yeah, it's goaltending.
Easy call.
That's too bad.
Wouldn't have gone in, but that is irrelevant.
Well, instead of a potential three-point play, the Warriors get nothing.
That hurts. They'll look at it at half.
Well, Mark will come out at halftime and say he missed it. That happens. Players miss shots and officials miss calls.
He's so far from the rim, I think that's what fooled them. Anyway, you got to play on.
Avery Bradley has hit back-to-back jumpers.
And you better play on. The Selby team had won 4 games in a row, including the first on the road trip against Phoenix.
Also inside.
Lost to the Clippers, lost to Portland last night.
If you're not named Stephen Clay, you better have an offensive mindset tonight.
See, Draymond can switch out like that. That's the benefit. He took away the shot.
Bradley's hit 3 in a row. The average is 15. Harrison Barnes. You're noticing no other green jerseys are around the supplementary Warriors. So Harrison's got 6. Draymond's got 8. Bergeron and Barbosa both scored.
He stepped out a little deeper on this one.
Struggling in Utah, making the threes at Oracle.
It's the...
Even at 18, our Rams shots of the game. Klay Thompson's game-tying 3 in Utah was a little eerie. Remember Steph coming from down 20? They both missed a 3. Offensive rebound, kick out for the reload, and then the 3 made. That was game 3 at New Orleans in the playoffs, and Wednesday in Utah. And not only did your premier shooters get a second chance, but it was Mo Spates and Livingston getting those offensive rebounds and finding them right away.
Exactly. There was Sean Livingston getting that rebound. He got 2 critical rebounds, but I'll tell you what's really tough to do, and that's going to be 2 free throws for Avery Bradley.
Bergeron with the foul.
Watching those 2 replays, it's very difficult. You have to learn to watch the one on the left with your left eye and the one on the right with your right eye.
So career high scoring for, in my mind, an all defensive selection. Avery Bradley is just an outstanding on-ball defender. Year 6 out of Texas. He was the 19th pick in 2010. So the free throw split.
Texas won here, so still very young.
Now the last 2 games, Jim, we got an offensive foul here. This is on the hook. The Warriors have played outstanding opponents' free throw defense. Utah was not making their free throws, and Boston has started 2 of 6. They're putting the Maloik on the other team from the foul line.
I guarantee you, Isaiah wants to get on the board.
Jonas Jerebko, the Swede, shooting over Curry. Draymond the rebound and running it out.
When Draymond's in the drain and gets a rebound, that's when you can start leaking out. He's going to bring it down. Run with him.
Little space for Steph and missing the 3. Curry, Clay, scoreless quarter. It's the question as Jerebko hits the jumper. Kelly Olynyk from Canada. Jerebko from Sweden playing together. Steph went behind the back and Livingston throws it away.
I don't think Sean was expecting the ball from Stephen. Had he been expecting it, he probably would have gotten a layup or one in close. Well, I'll tell you where they switched extremely.
Jerebko just jump switch right there.
He jumped, yeah, exactly what he did. Jonas Jerebko. I remember him in Detroit.
But 8 turnovers, and you're holding Steph and Clay scoreless. Have yourself a defensive first quarter, Boston. Marcus Smart missing. Terry Rozier, the #1 pick for Boston. Got that rebound. He's flying everywhere. It's going to be someone not named Curry that's got his score. The way Boston's playing defense. And right now, Brad Stevens' gamble is totally paying off. Got the Warriors out of rhythm and discombobulated offensively. Bradley right with Curry.
All the way from the backdoor cut on the other side. He's got quick feet.
Shot clock at 7, and Bergeron missing the elbow jumper.
Yep, you've got a very anemic offensive quarter. I cannot remember when neither of the Splash Brothers scored in the first quarter, or any quarter.
You got to think that hadn't happened. Not at the beginning ball game.
I don't think we need analytics to figure that out, do we? I agree. Although they can shoot it.
41% on threes, but missing there. And the Warrior defense in its own right has been excellent. They're holding Boston to 39% shooting. Steph.
That's the third man on him.
It just, if you move without the ball, Curry's going to find you because he's being quadruple teamed. Marcus Smart ran it back.
Now they get the last shot. Curry just created that by bringing 3 men with him into the lane. And he had no thought of finishing the play himself. He figured it out to see if it has a trend to it.
Final 5 seconds, shot clock off. Steph 3. He's not going to be scoreless in the first quarter.
He made Bradley almost do a 360 around Bergeron.
Jerebko from midcourt. And despite all the good Boston D, the Warriors still have the lead. But you get an idea. 2 of the top 3 defensive teams in the NBA grinding it out on a Friday night at Oracle. And it's a 2-point lead after the first 12 minutes that the Celtics have come to play. Beginning the second quarter, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood A. With the Warriors up a deuce. And it was that Curry 3 that gave them the lead. Boston very impressive defensively, but oh, by the way, Warriors play a little D of their own.
Absolutely. If they had not turned the ball over, they have more shot attempts. 18 shot attempts for the Warriors, 25 for Boston. But the Warriors defense is terrific, and 1 of 8 shooting from 3-point range. They're not a good 3-point shooting team, Boston.
Rozier just jumped into space and was rewarded.
But just like we talked about, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green combined for 4 threes. Just late getting back, and that's where you just throw yourself into your opponent. And the rookie from Louisville gets himself to the line.
16th pick in the first round. He's firing on the free throw. Season ticket priority wait list approaching 25,000. It's your chance to get priority presale access to round 1 of this year's playoffs at 888-GSW-HOOP. And as the Warriors move to the Chase Center as well as Oracle, any season tickets become available, you're on the list. 1 free throw made. Ian Clark, Harrison Barnes, with Klay Thompson, Spates, and Livingston. Klay Thompson on his second shot, and with Steph sitting, we're trying to run the offense through him a little bit.
Well, Marcus Smart can play defense too. he's on Thompson.
Evan Turner's always had a flat shot. Get him out to 15 feet. That hurts him.
Not a great offensive rebound either, but I'll tell you what, Evan Turner's a terrific defensive rebounder. And that's why you get open shots in the corner, because he hangs around inside. We've seen him do that already.
Harrison's going to get all he wants. Already with 3 threes. He's recognized it.
I like the first one he missed. I could tell there was a confident stroke to it. And I think he's been told by the coaching staff, go ahead and launch. We don't mind you going 1 for 8 in Utah. You got double-digit rebounds. We're going to need you scoring tonight. This guy's really quick, Rozier. Not a great shooter. Not a great shooter, but he can drive the hoop.
I'll tell you, Mo did a good job making him take a jumper and let him drive by. Livingston and pick and fade with Mo. Missing the jumper there. Lennox with Evan Turner, Jerebko, Marcus Smart, and Terry Rozier. That pass in iron. Two-man game. Mo and Sean. Livingston, the face-up jumper. He has excelled in the absence of Iguodala, just as you predicted, Jim, when Andre first went down, that Sean Livingston would be the stabilizer.
Yep. He's got to take a lot of those duties.
Lennox missing there. And here. Took a very hard fall. Ian Clark with a foul.
That's long shot, yields a long rebound, and Ian Clark did not block off Rozier because he went clear into the lane for the rebound, and it bounced out to the elbow. Oh boy, that could hurt your shoulder, your arm.
Just glad that his head didn't land first. That's how you get a concussion.
This is only the 34th game that he's participated in.
NEH has some guards. Oh, Livingston, what beautiful vision on the ball.
That's the whole key right there. Yeah, he knew where the man was going. He didn't have to turn his back to the play. You always have to see the ball. You should always see your man or feel him. He got them both that time.
Trying to post a Marcus Smart. Ian Clark did a good job shoving him off the lane. Smart creating for Jerebko.
He's just too strong for Ian right there. Didn't really beat him except with that final step and the weight that he has. They get into you. These guards get into you.
Mo can hit that shot.
But he's fading away.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have to honor him there.
He's hit the front of the rim twice because he's falling back on his shot. And I know he does that, but he's got to stay with it a little longer.
Jerebko missing the 3, and the Celtics are 1 of 9 from distance. This is only the 25th three-point shooting team in the NBA.
Oh, that's a full shot. Again, it was Marcus Smart who switched out on Clay.
Steph and Clay are 1 of 7, and yet the Warriors have the lead. Sellinger was skidded out, or Evan Turner, excuse me.
I'm not even saying a word.
And Thompson on the counterattack.
See, early offense. Then when you beat somebody off the dribble outside, they don't have as many defenders to help back inside.
Yeah, this would be the worst team in the league to walk it up against.
And when you have Evan Turner fall down, that eliminates one more man.
And Livingston with a D.
I love goes to ball side, and hey, Turner lost it out of bounds himself.
So the Warriors playing defense in their own right. The 6-point lead. And don't forget, the world champs can guard you.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 6 on the Celtics. Folks, today is the final Authentic Fan Friday of the season. This season, every single Friday home game, Comcast Sportsnet gave away 50 pairs of free tickets and free giveaways. They've got these cool Authentic Fan jerseys. I'm here with some Authentic fans. What's your name?
Megan.
And yours?
I'm Luke.
What's up? And you guys are a very cute Authentic Fan couple, by the way. Adorable. Okay, I know you guys are big basketball fans. The Warriors are in pursuit of the Bulls' 72-10 record, perhaps passing it. How many wins do you think they can get?
I think 74.
What about you?
I don't know about hitting 75, but I'll tell you that we're going to end the Spurs home record.
Bold.
That's ours.
Bold words. Okay, the Warriors are undefeated at home. What makes Oracle Arena so special?
It's the loudest place in the NBA. You can't top it.
Did you hear this place when we walked in? There's nothing close to it.
It's nuts. It's so fun. It's a dream to work in it, too. I'm going to send it back down to my teammates. Bob?
It is the best building in the league. Remodeled in '97, added an extra 4,000 people, but kept the same shell, and the acoustics and the fan base and the fervor are second to none. Spates with a good closeout on Marcus Smart. Boston's 1 of 7 shooting in the quarter.
Warriors not taking advantage of it. They've had turnovers, 8 of them to be exact, and then a miscue a moment ago with Maurice underneath. And he needs that pump fake.
Harrison Barnes missing. And Spates is 0 for 3, and they need his scoring tonight. Saw Evan Turner's game. He can handle it inside. And
This is really good defense by Sean Livingston, and then Mo Spates held his ground. First of all, Livingston does a great job, and I don't know what they expect Spates to do there. Now, he may have been in the restricted area with the left foot. That's all I can think of, because he's there for an eternity.
well, you get an idea how Boston is coached, because it's twice now, when you have nothing going, just jump into a defender and see if you can get to the line. Brad Stevens has got a little method to the madness.
One thing about Turner, he only shoots about 2 free throws a game. That's been one thing about his career. He doesn't get a lot of free throws. So he likes mid-range jump shots and doesn't work to get to the line.
Amir Johnson played the defense, and Boston with a loose ball foul.
What was that?
You know, I would say playing the Celtics, Jim, playing against them would be unfun.
It could be annoying to you.
They are good defensively. They play really hard.
You've got to get a little two-man game with a big, and even out of the backcourt, throw it ahead and run without the ball. Loosen them up.
Stepping into the passing lanes. Evan Turner with a steal. Guarding Isaiah Thomas, you don't want to foul him. He's taking 120 more free throws than Curry. Speaking of fouls, Amir Johnson flipping it in, and an opportunity for a three-point play.
Well, right now, it's not coming easy for the Warriors. A lot like it was in Utah. So you just got to dig a little deeper. You got to play a little harder, a little smarter. And you can't get frustrated, and you can't force the issue. The 9 turnovers is going to be something that Steve Kerr will talk about at halftime.
Amir Johnson out of Westchester High School in L.A. Saw him have some very good success with Toronto, but he was a nice offseason pickup.
If Johnson comes, Mo's going to shoot. He didn't come.
Livingston able to knock it down.
Hey, he didn't get all the way where he wanted to, but far enough. Nice roll.
Mentioned Rozier's quickness. No challenge there.
See, that's the same shot they got Avery Bradley off in the first quarter, but Rozier doesn't want that shot.
Sean can shoot right over him. Off iron. Livingston fighting for it, but touched it last. 40% Warriors shooting, 33% Boston shooting, and it is very reminiscent of the Utah game.
Yeah. Just have to stay with your fundamentals and your defense.
Here Johnson, kind of a shot put 3. Ian Clark in on the athletic Jerebko, gets into him and couldn't get it over iron.
If you're going to go in, you got to get contact for the free throws. Isaiah can make that little shot.
Played him well and didn't foul him.
If you're going to drive on a big man in the open court one-on-one, you got to make sure you get contact or get a good shot. And he never got to a spot that he wanted. It was comfortable for Clark.
Can Mo get off the schneid? And he does. His first field goal. This becomes the Warriors' biggest lead. It's not free-flowing, it's not pretty, but it's still winning basketball.
Yeah, and Mo said, you know, I've got to go out a little further. I have a little more room.
The big man with the triple, and Boston takes time. Our Lexus pursuit of perfection, multiple 67-win seasons. The Bulls have done it. The Celtics have done it twice. The The Lakers as well. And what a group to join for the Golden State Warriors.
And the only oddity there, the Warriors won a championship. They'd like to repeat all those numbers there. The Celtics, yes, they had a terrific winning season in 72-73, but the Knicks won the title that year. They won it in 85-86. The Bulls won it all 3 of those years that they were up there.
There's not a lot of franchises that have won 67 games more than once. And Jerebko hitting a 3. You know, what's interesting is you do not see the San Antonio Spurs on that list.
You know, before the game, I looked at this list. Stephen and Clay, 619 made threes. That's more than 13 teams in the league. Combined teams.
Draymond missing that 3.
I just think that's incredible. 7 of them in the East, and including Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Those 2 have made more threes than those 2 teams, than each of those teams combined. Their players. Amazing.
Draymond's got Thomas, and Bogut comes to send him away.
What's going to happen here?
Curry stops at the line. Steph is 1 of 5. Clay is 1 of 5. Warrior lead is 4. Draymond with a steal.
And 4 of Curry's shots have been from three-point range.
Brandon Rush first playing time. Boston is also shortened the game.
This is unacceptable. Bogut is looking to post up. First of all, if he catches it, he's outside the restricted area. He needed to back in a little further, and I think he was concerned about a 3-second violation. I mean, he got a little push there, but, I mean, he's out near the free throw line. Work it to the sideline and let him get a little bit lower post position, possibly. That's a mistake.
Boston has controlled the tempo. They've held the Warriors under 40% shooting. But the Warrior defense has been even better, limiting Boston to 32% from the field. Sullinger cashing that in. The problem is when you hold a team to 32% at Oracle, you think the Warriors should be up 15, 18 points.
Yep.
They're up only 2.
Up 7, 35-28, and you've got 5 straight from Boston.
The best I've seen a team guard Stephen Clay all year long. And they had an off shooting night against the Lakers or afternoon. And this is all Celtics defense.
You can change in a hurry, we know that. Well,
Evan Turner hitting a 3.
Make it 8 straight.
Play to the rolling Draymond, throws it away.
He took an exceptional shooting night from Al-Farouq Aminu last night. Made 8 threes to beat this team. It wasn't Lillard and McCollum.
2:43 remaining in the first half, and it's an ugly one at Oracle. The second quarter score is 15-12. And the Celtics lead by 1 with 2:43 remaining in the half. Our AT&T U-verse Rewind. MVP point guards. It started with Bob Cousy at 56-57. The Big O, Oscar Robertson, the MVP at 63-64. Magic, 3-time MVP, redefining the position at 6'9". Steve Nash, back-to-back MVPs for the Santa Clara products. And Stephen Curry followed Derrick Rose in the point guard pantheon of MVPs. And he will be a back-to-back MVP. Our McDonald's true story. Stephen has the largest increase in scoring of any MVP in NBA history. +6 from a year ago.
Well, people are talking about most improved. And legitimately so. Well, how about this? This little 8-0 run in a little over 2.5 minutes from the Celtics.
If you're the Celtics, you have to lead, and Isaiah Thomas hasn't scored.
Their leading scorer.
Sullinger missing, and Brandon Rush with a rebound. Curry and Clay have 5 points on 2 of 10 shooting. Steph trying to change that, and he does with a 3, and we check in with Roz.
Coach Curry that last time out told the team, we got to trust each other. Move the ball, make simple passes. Right now we're playing like we're under so much pressure. Let's just put together 2.5 good minutes.
Sullinger tipping in the Isaiah Thomas miss.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. The Celtics have forced the Warriors into doing things that they never do. Trying to throw over-the-top passes from the top of the circle, posting people up. And this is not generally a team that plays like that. It's usually pass along the perimeter and the outside, make cuts, back and forth, come off down screens, come off dribble screens. Bogut's in there. How about a dribble screen from him?
Draymond with the shot clock winding down, and his drive got Bogut at point-blank range.
Sometimes Draymond just says, you know what, guys, I'm not going to think about pass. I'm going to make a move on a guy, and I'm going to beat him. I'm going to make something happen. This is an offensive foul, is it not?
Well, it's going to be on Draymond Green. The worst thing here is the Warriors are over the limit. That'll be free throws.
You got to tag it up with Sullinger. Here he drives. Olynyk. And Olynyk, you can see Brad Stevens has people recover, move their feet, try to retreat all the time. Don't ride somebody.
Sullinger hitting the free throw. The playoffs coming back, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Tickets go on sale April 8th. But you get the pre-sale access to the first-round games now by joining the season ticket priority wait list at 888-GSW-HOOP. Sullinger dropping in a couple free throws. Warriors 2 of 4 from the line. Celtics 7 of 13.
Curry just being held right now away from the ball.
Klay Thompson driving, and he will get to the line. Flip it in, draw the foul.
Great recognition. You get a switch play, you get a bigger man on you, just turn the corner. He comes off. Bogut sets the good screen on Thomas. And Klay just turns that corner and protects the ball. I love the way he gets it out on his right shoulder. Then he says, okay, I've gotten him beat. Remember, Klay did not play. He had a sprained ankle when Boston forced the Warriors to 2 overtime.
Yeah, Klay sprained that ankle in the waning minutes of the Indiana game when the Warriors blew that lead.
Yes, that was it. Had to go back in. And it cost him.
Avery Bradley for 3. And Draymond, quick hands.
He's looking ahead. He's looking ahead.
It's the perfect 2-for-1 setup.
I don't even think there's any contact there.
It's going to be an offensive foul and another turnover.
It really was. Steve's in a quandary. There really wasn't much contact, and Green actually let Isaiah go. He's coming there. Moved a little bit. That's so incidental. That's tough. I mean, Bradley's more physical on Curry every time away from the ball than that.
Devin Turner, tough turnaround. Now, if you're Boston, you're checking every box. You're playing good defense. You're controlling the tempo. The Warriors have 3 fast break points. You're getting an unbelievable road whistle. Playing the world champs in their own building.
Ooh, that's almost, they're going to call it backcourt. His right foot went past the half-court line. This is the kind of pressure defense that the Warriors are facing.
13 first-half turnovers, and Boston gets the last shot.
They don't trap at the three-point line. They trap at the logo, inside the logo.
Boston will play for 1 here. Thomas has yet to score. They're going to use the 20-second timeout that goes away at halftime.
20-second timeout.
So they used midcourt as a third defender and trapped Curry.
And that's a jump switch, and there you see the foot on the line.
Boston's defensive game plan's been very good. Harrison Barnes leads the Warriors with 9. Draymond has 8. Klay Thompson's 2 of 6. Steph is 2 of 6.
The great equalizer. All the things that are going wrong offensively including the 13 turnovers, which have allowed 13 points, and so Boston's +6. But the Warriors' defense has been solid.
But if you're the Celtics on the road, you're shooting 36%, and you have a chance to have the lead going in at halftime, and Isaiah Thomas, who averages 22 a game, hasn't scored.
This is why that trap, as you come across the line, like you said it perfectly, that's a third defender. And that's why I like to throw the ball ahead and not even have the guard. If you're the guard in the backcourt, throw it ahead to Draymond or Andrew Bogut and then run naked without the ball.
And then go get it back.
Then you go get it back. You've beaten the press.
Let Evan Turner handle. He loves to drive in these situations. Avery Bradley springs free for a 3 and drops it in. Very well designed play. 2.3 left. And Clay picked up in the backcourt. And so the Boston Celtics have the 2-point lead at the break. They hold the Warriors to 43 in the first half and bottle up Stephen Clay. So 45-43 at halftime. Dave Feldman in the studio for Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Right after this.
The Splash Brothers, just 11 combined points on 4 of 13 shooting. And in a related story, the Warriors trail the Celtics by 2. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our CSN studios. I'm Dave Feldman. This is Jack in the Box Halftime Live. Back to Oracle in a bit, but let's catch up on some other comings and goings in the NBA, starting with the Mavs and the Pistons. We'll pick it up in the second quarter. Dallas up by 8. J.J. Barea. That's a pretty good Dirk Nowitzki imitation. He had a team-high 29. Third quarter, Detroit down 3. Marcus Morris ties it with a triple. He had 31, hit 6 trays. Fourth quarter, Mavs by 5. Wes Matthews, the foul, and 1. And a final of 98-89, Dallas. T-Wolves, Jazz. These fans having some funs with the Thundersticks, and I got you. I'll get you back, too. Final minute of the third, Joe Ingles with the wing 3. Utah by 9. First minute of the fourth, Raul Neto with a trifecta. Pretty good look. And later in the frame, Gordon Hayward. Good finish. He had a team-high 22. Jazz are winners, 98-85. Warriors right now with a 5-game lead on San Antonio. They've already clinched the division. They're currently trying to get home court throughout the playoffs. Of course, San Antonio is still playing for a lot. We'll come back. We got more Jack in the Box Halftime Live when we come back.
At the half, low scoring, and the Celtics up 2. For the Warriors, they're playing great defense. They have Isaiah Thomas with 0, and they're holding Boston at 37% shooting. But the difference is +9 in points off turnovers. The Celtics have discombobulated the Warrior offense.
They certainly have. They're really misguided out there. They've got to play a different way. But when you hold their leading scorer, 12th in the league in scoring.
Yep.
He's got 0 tonight, and yet you've made 8 threes. The Warriors have made 8, and yet they are behind. You're looking at the 8 ball right now. Only 5 free throws attempted to the Celtics 13. You've got to change the way you play tonight.
Change the way you play and see if the Splash Brothers can get untracked. I have not seen a team play Stephen Clay this well defensively. Our KFC Nashville Hot Shot chart brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. 8 turnovers, 4 of 13. Avery Bradley and the gang are doing a number on the Warrior guards.
They already are. 4 of 13 and 2 of 7 from three-point range. I think you've got to move the ball, make your cuts, and there've got to be secondary scorers tonight. Harrison Barnes has chipped in nicely with his 9, making 3 threes, but neither team's shooting real well. The turnovers and the points off turnovers, a huge difference in this one. And officiating, they're not calling it like they did in Utah. It's a lot tighter tonight, so it's a different way. You've got to lean with that.
Down 2 at the break, third quarter on the way. Getting ready to start the second half with the Celtics up 2. Moments ago, our Rosgold Onwude caught up with Warrior assistant Jaron Collins.
Coach Collins, their defense is working hard against Klay and Steph. What are you seeing that they're doing out there, and are they getting a different look today?
Yeah, it's almost like a playoff intensity out there. They have some of the best perimeter defenders in Smart and Bradley. They're into the ball. They're riding us, and at the end of the day, we've got to set up better screens, more ball movement, more player movement. We're trying to do too much off the dribble and just go hero ball a little too much right now.
Well, Steph Curry was hounded into 7 first-half turnovers. Ball movement and player movement. That'll be the thing to watch in the second half. Isaiah Thomas had to change that shot, threw it away.
3-on-2. They did not get anything out of that.
So Bogut, Draymond, Harrison Barnes, Steph and Klay. And Curry, 3.
They made it up because Curry and Thompson were on the left side. Both stayed at the three-point line. One man has to run through there a little bit. They might have gotten the layup, but they scored nonetheless.
Isaiah Thomas, Amir Johnson, Sellinger, Evan Turner, and Avery Bradley. And Bradley's 3 with Bogut rebounding.
Thompson did a superb job first time and actually created that turnover with Isaiah Thomas.
Only 3 fast break points. Everything's been half court. Klay saved the turnover. Steph hits another 3.
Avery lost his concentration.
And Brad Stevens going to stop it right away.
A near turnover turned into a dandy play for the Warriors because it got the attention of Avery Bradley, and he kind of stopped defending Curry for a moment. And Curry moved to the corner.
Steph had 6 in the first half. He's got 6 in a minute 3.
Ahmed Fareed here with a Sportsnet Central update. Game 2 of the Battle of the Bay exhibition series going on right now over at AT&T Park. Full highlights of that coming up tonight, plus a sit-down interview with both Bob Melvin and Bruce Bochy together. That's coming up tonight on Sportsnet Central. Fitz and JB, we'll send it back to you.
Baseball gets rolling on Monday. Giants and A's, it'll be a lot of fun. I think this year around the Bay. So Steph Curry bottled up until he hit those 2 threes, and Isaiah Thomas, you mentioned it, Jim, 12th leading scorer in the league. Well, looking for his first points.
He can't shoot over Klay Thompson, and Klay Thompson takes away his left hand. Now they get a switch, and Draymond is still out at the three-point line. They'll try to score here. He tries to break you down, and he did.
So Isaiah Thomas on cue.
He can break you down. And he took advantage because he's not going to shoot over Draymond. Draymond will come out. Draymond's got a lot of confidence that he can defend the perimeter playing personnel.
Steph drawing all that attention. Harrison Barnes missing the 3.
Well, that's a moving screen.
Bogut nearly got a piece of it, and Thomas flipped it in.
Sellinger made a 180 move drop step and walled off, and that's why Klay couldn't get through.
Been a little curious tonight, to say the least. Oh, it has not been the case in this building. Draymond 3 is long and strong, and Evan Turner will send Thomas on his way. Now Thomas can get on these scoring binges. He's made 2 in a row. You got to be a little careful.
Oh, he's going to drive again. He got fouled.
We said 120 more free throws than Steph attempted this year.
And you don't shoot that many free throws coming into night 496 by shooting three-pointers all the time. He takes a bundle of threes, but he gets to the line.
5th year out of Washington. He was the first pick in that second round in 2011. Became an all-star. Isaiah Thomas reminds me of Kyle Lowry, Jim, in this sense. Oh, he'll be a good backup point guard. It'd be nice to have backup point guard. And then they play so well that you say, you know what, maybe he just should start.
And he does. University of Washington, they upset. He and Avery Bradley, both from the Northwest, that there's no Seattle Sonic team anymore.
Play. Took the contact by Sellinger and still finished.
Yeah, he hung up in the air a little bit. Double clutch, kept the ball in control. Nice job.
That was a good no call.
Well, again, the mismatch here.
Sullinger holding on to Curry. Couldn't get to Isaiah Thomas, and Amir Johnson will track it down. So now they're letting him be a little more physical inside. Draymond, pocket pick, took it away, and then he's fouled. Oh, Draymond Green, second time that he's had just a beautiful steal.
That's why he was runner-up to the Defensive Player of the Year last year. He gets it down low, and he just beats Evan Turner to the ball. 3 things he did there. Knocked the ball away, went to get the steal, and then drew a foul. That's work.
No tempo to this game at all. Half court to half court. And Klay Thompson executing.
Now let's see if they can fight through a screen here so they don't have to keep switching and get Isaiah Thomas going at Andrew Bogut. Sullinger.
Sullinger hitting that jumper. One thing this tempo is doing, too, it's shortening the game. Warriors trying to up-tempo and play with a 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how Portland scored 116 points against this team last night.
Now Boston's playing with the emergency brake on as they're driving the car tonight. Thomas inside.
He can score in bunches, and he's doing so in this quarter.
Steve Kerr's at midcourt exhorting, keep running, keep moving, keep shooting. That time Klay denied. And Draymond will put Isaiah Thomas on the line again.
The guy knows how to draw a foul. And he's fearless. Has an angle. He says, I'm not going to take a route that'll just give me a clear shot. I'm going to make sure that I get a body bump from a big man and earn the free throws.
Also, too, at 5'9", any contact, physics are just going to take over, and the little guy's going to get spilled every time, and he's a great practitioner of doing just that. So the lead at 1 with 7:49 remaining in the third. Speaking of guards, how about the Blazers coming to town on Sunday with a special 5 o'clock start time? First 10,000 fans get a Warriors slam dunk poster courtesy of Kingsford Capital Management. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, and the Blazers on Sunday. Remember, 5 o'clock, that special start time.
Well, they had a 30-point first quarter last night. The Blazers did against this club, the Celtics, and a 35-point fourth quarter.
Well, the Celtics are the 5th highest scoring team in the league. They don't mind going up and down. It's just Brad Stevens' game plan tonight is totally different than it was against Portland.
Yeah, they picked their spots. Well, last night they were running right from the get-go. And I'll tell you what they did is they get rebounds and they throw the ball out near half court. They do like you used to do 30, 40 years ago.
Now, Curry's got blood all over his jersey in the front and the back. So the 30-second infectious disease control timeout. So when they say no blood, no foul, they're not kidding.
That's funny.
He's got it right on the front and he's got it on the back.
That's a new way. Usually you grab the jersey. I didn't know you reach up underneath it and get to the skin.
Isaiah Thomas.
I'm trying to find out where it is.
Isaiah Thomas is the one bleeding.
Yeah.
So they're tending to him.
That dispels the belief that it's a non-contact sport when you've got someone else's blood all over your jersey, front and back.
Well, how many times do you take a look at Steph after a game and he's just got claw marks all over him?
After the LA Clippers, and tonight I think he'll have a few too. From Bradley.
Isaiah Thomas, 88% from the line. Misfiring there. You just see a lot of the scratches and cuts, and that is a marked man right now.
Yeah, I don't think that's lipstick.
Isaiah Thomas misses 2 free throws. This is just like the Utah game. Boston's 9 of 17 from the line.
Well, we'd like the same outcome. Well, they just deny. They overplay everyone. They get help defense from the weak side in case you get beaten from the perimeter with someone. That's why the Warriors did make 8 threes in the first half. They'll concede that eventually.
Steph knows It's about involving all his teammates tonight.
Well, he knows when he comes off a little screen there that two men are going to jump at him, his own man and Bogut's. And they ran that perfectly. Offensive play, Curry's going to come around the screen. So he's going to get chased. In fact, there are three men there, including Amir Johnson as well as Sullinger. That's the kind of attention they're giving Steph Curry tonight. And he finished with a lob dunk.
Isaiah Thomas hitting a three. So scoreless in the first half, but 11 here in the third in the first 5 minutes.
As I said, that's a bad pass red again. Second time for Evan Turner tonight.
Thomas able to finish.
He's got 13. And this is a real tough one. Isaiah is 12th in the league in scoring, right behind Klay Thompson.
Celtics +6 on points off turnovers, and back to the 2-point lead.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors trail the Celtics by 2. Draymond Green and Stephen Curry are a combination that just works. I spoke with Draymond, and he said that there are times, many times in the game, where he and Steph are specifically feeding off of each other, having an on-court connection, making eye contact, saying it's go time. He said there's a lot of ways that we're alike, but at the same time, we are completely different. It's weird, but it works. Our differences allow us to be close. Like in one area where I'm too much of, Steph is often not enough. So we've both been underdogs. We understand each other, and we both want to be as good as we possibly can be.
That is as close a friendship as there is on the team with Draymond and Stephen Curry. And they've both been doubted their whole basketball careers and not given enough credit or recognition. And they play with that good chip on their shoulder.
Yes.
Continually proving people
and
wrong.
Stephen Curry respects Draymond Green, and they know what Draymond is like. This is going to be a good-looking shot in and out. And Draymond can get a little snappy sometimes, and it's okay because they trust him and they know how badly he wants to win and do things right.
Harrison tried to stay in front of Avery Bradley, but able to get to the cup and lay it in.
These are quick guards, defensively and offensively.
This becomes Boston's biggest lead with the last 7.
They've taken advantage of several switches tonight, those Boston guards.
All that attention on Curry. Wide open teammates, but you got to knock stuff down. Harrison Barnes is 3 of 6 on threes. He's had a good night.
Boston 7 of 9 from the field this quarter.
Sullinger bowling his way on Draymond. And Draymond, the D and the rebound. The Warriors have 6 fast break points for the game. Everything station to station. Klay Thompson,
you heard
missing the 3.
And he stayed on the floor there. He was trying to induce contact on the shooting arm.
Bradley runs to the line.
Get a little scattered down. Maybe it'll loosen up.
We've got another offensive foul. Bogut not feeling good at all.
Well, let's see what it's Avery Bradley does. I guess they said that Bogut was not stationary. You know, it's officiated so differently than the Utah game, isn't it? Remember we were saying they let him play a little bit? He got that in the solar plexus.
What was that? Come on now. 15 Warrior turnovers. That's a Varejao out in, maybe extended minutes. Oracle not having a lot of fun tonight.
The Warriors are switching too often up top tonight. It's playing right into the hands of Bradley and Thomas.
Varejao grabbed Bradley's arm. The crowd didn't see that initially. Bradley missing the free throw. The free throws are 19-5, favoring the Celtics. They throw in some offensive fouls that have become turnovers. Warriors are playing uphill a little bit tonight. And trailing by 5, and they got work to do.
I realize that Bradley and Isaiah Thomas have combined for 300 made threes. Okay, nearly 300. But maybe once in a while you got to go under the screen and stay with them and take your chances.
Steph with the 3. He's got 15.
A little more patience waiting for that screen. Setting his man up. Thomas set him up.
Thomas springs free. Their bodies falling all over the place.
Chasing these little men. Gonna chase again. Look at this. Look at how do you make this judgment? How do you even decide who committed a foul here? This is hilarious.
This is going to be on Harrison Barnes.
So Harrison's going there. Okay.
Remember the game in LA where Steph and Clay were 1 of 18 on threes, and you have great players having an off game? Well, the fouls in this game are 16 to 6, and you got 3 guys with a whistle and they're having a bad game in their own right.
Are you talking about the Clipper game or the Laker game?
A Laker game.
I think they were 2 of 19.
2 of 19?
Yeah, they hit one at the end.
Isaiah Thomas putting it up and in.
Keep your poise. They kept their poise in Utah.
Isaiah Thomas has been brilliant here in the 3rd. And we just got bodies all over the place right now.
They finally got Bradley on a hold away from the ball.
Now, here's I'm going to make you laugh.
Okay.
It's Avery Bradley's first foul of the game.
Wow. First time he got caught. If you know me, I'm very nonpartisan in that kind of stuff. I'll go either way, but it's Butcher again.
Barbosa hides behind Berejak.
Made it look simple, fundamental, and poised. He's going to run right into you, and I'm telling you, what a whale of a quarter for Isaiah Thomas.
17 for Isaiah Thomas, and a 3-point play opportunity.
Again, it's the speed against the big men. And he does this regularly. That's not a lucky shot for him.
He has been special here in the 3rd.
Well, someone smaller has got to stop the ball. At least make an attempt there. They keep putting the big man in jeopardy.
Isaiah Thomas has shot as many free throws in this quarter as the Warriors have in the game. Barbosa, 3. If they can get quick shots to go down, they'll get Oracle involved and speed up the tempo of the game.
Don't you like a 32-year-old veteran who's not afraid of the moment? That's a gutsy shot there.
Steph on the switch. Sullinger from deep.
It looked good all the way, and it got nothing but twine.
28% three-point shooter, and he's 2 of 2 tonight. Curry inside, laying it up and out. Long rebound out to Barnes. Steph 3. Good! This is a lot like the game in Boston.
Has it loosened up a little for you?
Those teams went back and forth. Loud to Amir Johnson. This tempo would favor the Warriors, but credit the Celtics for playing wonderful basketball. Curry, deep 3, and he's fouled. Again by Avery Bradley.
Well, the Warriors already have their highest scoring quarter, so it's loosened a little bit. When I'm speaking of highest scoring quarter, this game only. Straight on, just a little long, but 3 free throws, and they need them all.
His first free throws of the night. And before Steph's trip to the line, 22-5, the free throw disparity. So Boston shooting it at 45%, forcing Warrior turnovers, getting to the free throw line, and playing a tremendous road game.
You're right about free throws and shooting, because 11 of 22, I recall that Utah was 11 of 23 at one point, a couple of nights back. Steph for the third one.
What's crazy is the Celtics are the 5th best free throwing team in the league.
They are.
They're top 5, and yet they're shooting 50%. Curry makes all 3. Bradley jumpers offline. Rebound tipped in. What an athletic tip.
Well, Draymond had a hand on it. It got bounced up.
And Marcus Smart able to get inside. Deep 3. He hit that from Fremont.
Well, if you watch his warm-ups, he takes a lot from there. This guy, he shoots 41%.
And he responds.
40% of his shots are from 3. They lost him.
So Curry's got 18 in the quarter. Isaiah Thomas has 18 in the quarter.
A lot of dribbling there.
Steph to Varejao, and he's fouled.
But the Warriors are behind, but this pace and the play that they're having right now in this quarter is going to benefit the Warriors, not Boston. But this is a heck of a find to get Varejao. I thought Varejao had a chance just to go strongly, and not a great free throw shooter to get the easy 2.
Avery Bradley, no fouls in the first half. No fouls in the first 6 minutes of the third. 3 fouls in the last 3 minutes. So Amir Johnson will get the rest with 7 and 9. And Jerebko checking in.
Not as good a defender, Jerebko, as Johnson.
Varejao 1 out of 2. Terry Rozier, Jerebko, Olynyk, with Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley.
You can go under the screen of Rozier.
Olynyk hit 1. And Draymond with a steal. Warriors on the fast break. Barbosa saved it. Curry, 3. Good! Steph gives the Warriors the lead. 21 in the quarter. And Olynyk is fouled.
2 more free throws. They had him bundled up. Got a little too aggressive.
Stephen Curry is 6 of 6 on 3s in the third. You know, we were having this discussion in Utah. Could he get to 400? And you were doing the math. Oh, he's got to average about 5 a game. And
5.5, yeah.
He's already got 8 tonight.
Had 5 in Utah, did he not?
And Curry, the magic 400. So free throws down, and Boston back up 1.
Trade a 2 for 1 here, but not too soon. Somewhere in the next 6 seconds.
Bradley trying to play that deep. Curry driving, had it stripped.
Ooh, that's almost a carry.
And Bradley missing. And a foul.
That's for the big. You never want to hit him. You just want to run like you're going to clobber him, and you'll try to scare him out of the shot. I thought that's what he was going to do. If you don't come down, yeah. He may have made it. I would say he probably would have made it.
No, it was a foul.
But, oh yeah, definitely a foul.
Yeah. I mean, the crowd doesn't like it, but...
No, definitely a foul.
I mean, we saw it hit him on the head.
And the way he finished there, I think he would have made it, wouldn't have scared him. He's been around 5 years now. Avery Bradley, second leading scorer, and another good 81% free throw shooter. But you know what? The Warriors don't mind this. They're still behind here, but the pace of play, They like that kind of game.
It feels different the last 6 minutes.
Absolutely.
Boston, excellent execution to maintain the advantage. Livingston, cycle it to Barbosa. Shot clock at 5. Harrison, a good look for 3. And Smart the rebound at 2.
No foul here. Let him take a long one.
And that will do it for the third. The Celtics actually add a point to their halftime lead. And it's Boston up 3 despite Curry with 21 in the third. Isaiah Thomas with 18 in the third. And it's the Celtics up 3. Heading into the fourth. And the 54-game home winning streak on the line. Toyota game summary. And the third quarter, the pyrotechnics both ways adds a single point to the Celtic lead. Now Boston is +8 in points off turnovers and +8 from the foul line. But Steph Curry's 21-point quarter, the 9th 20-point quarter he's had. The whole league has 32 total.
Well, despite the heroics of Isaiah Thomas, Barnes gets the banker in. Bradley and Thomas got 23 in that quarter. The Splash Brothers had 28. That's the way they like to play.
So Speights and Barnes, Livingston, Barbosa, and Clay. Rozier inside.
Great help from Mo Speights.
And it'll be Boston ball, and we check in with Roz.
In that last timeout, Coach Kerr told the team, we really got the energy at the end of that third quarter. We got to stay with that. Let's defend without fouling, get out and run.
Barbosa defended without fouling. He gave ground there, and then Mo came over and stopped it. Unfortunately, he could not gather the ball in.
Olynyk with Evan Turner, Jonas Jerebko, Marcus Smart, and Terry Rozier. Olynyk well played by Clay, but able to rim it in anyway.
Olynyk did not score in that first half.
I'll tell you, that play just typified the night for Boston. They are playing almost a perfect game for them.
Olynyk had 7 points in the third, scored there. Warriors answer.
Livingston. Sean's got 6 off the bench. Here's Turner's mid-range, and Mo contested that nicely. But the Warrior foul on the rebound.
A little miscommunication there. I think Livingston thought he had it cleanly.
And it's just out of bounds, so not a foul.
Yeah, 2 Warriors. One of them should have come up with it. Just aggression. Oh, that's an out-of-bounds mistake.
Brad Stevens has some good out-of-bounds plays in his own right.
Can't ever turn your back to a man like that who's coming to the ball.
Sean and Mo. Speights sandwiched.
But he's forcing things that are not there. He hit the 3 in the first half there.
That's his only made field goal.
But I think he was forced there because he had been in the lane. He was concerned about a 3-second violation. He's not getting space.
Marcus Smart with a shot clock at 7. They wanted Jerebko on the post-up. Turner sheds Barnes and hits the mid-range.
That's what he does best.
So this is back to Boston's biggest lead at 5. Livingston, nice pass out. Barbosa for 3. Steve Kerr may not be able to sit Steph for a long rest. They may need him if Boston continues the separation.
Well, Barnes had missed his last 3 threes, and I still think he has to shoot that shot.
Marcus Smart with the right hand.
He's big, but he's quick and strong. clever.
Celtic reserves owning this first 3 minutes of the fourth.
Marcus Smart can play defense.
Steve Kerr going to use the timeout. So 9:18 remaining in the game. 54 straight home wins. And yet the Celtics team scoring in a variety of ways. The season opener. Madison Bumgarner on the mound in Milwaukee. All the Giants coverage begins Monday at 10 a.m. as baseball season is here. And the G-men are ready to roll. Samardzija looked terrific last night at AT&T. Madison Bumgarner on the mound and at the plate. 5 jacks last year, leading all pitchers. Shot clock at 4. Marcus Smart staying right with Klay Thompson. Tough shot, well defended. And Rozier with the rebound.
When you're down 7 here, Curry on the bench. You've got to get something out there from Ian Clark and Livingston. They can't just depend on Klay.
Smart gets Spates on a switch. Shot clock at 2. Step back is perfect as he hits a 3. And Boston's up double digits. In this fourth quarter for the Celtics.
Barnes only 2 points in this half. He's got to come through too. Well, that's going to be a block, and they'll take it. Brad Stevens doesn't like it.
Celtics foul, charge 41, Kelly Olynyk, second personal, first team foul.
Yeah, he moved. He moved. They double team it. Bo's not going to take the 3. He goes the shot.
Right down the lane. Like a freight train going downhill.
Well, that's the way to use a screen like that. You just got to be aware of that. And Mo's got to take what the defense will give him. If there's no lane there, take that jumper. That time, he saw a wide open one.
Evan Turner.
Well, this is, I almost mentioned this at halftime, forgot all the things we wanted to talk about. What if this, all of a sudden the Celtics get hot?
Which they have, and Livingston had it taken away.
That's exactly what's happened. Warriors got a little hot, but the Celtics matched it, and they still are matching it.
Olynyk unable to finish. Harrison's got to be careful. And it's an offensive foul.
Well, here's the deal. There's something about Harrison. He gets a rebound. Draymond gets it and will dribble around in the pack. Harrison is reluctant to do that. I don't know whether he's told to do that or not. But he clears the rebound, and instead of taking a couple dribbles up court, maybe create an angle or take it yourself into the front court, he almost got picked. And essentially, it's a turnover. You can go underneath on Rozier. No need to switch on him. They got it anyway.
Olynyk is fouled again. So the Celtics up 10. Here comes Draymond. Here comes Steph. And Roz has the latest on Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, Bob, we saw him go back to the locker room holding his ribs. Well, x-rays were performed on his ribs, and his return right now is uncertain.
Small lineup now, Jim.
We thought about that, and I think it's the best lineup for this group. Draymond can switch. He can stay with people. Not with those quick guards as well.
And Draymond coming up with a steal.
Just grab it and don't. I was going to say, boy, I'm telling you.
They turn it over again. Why did Harrison touch the ball?
I agree.
It was deflected by the Celtics. It was going to be Warrior ball.
Let it go out of bounds. So calm everybody down. But I have to say, Draymond needed to put his handles on the ball and take a deep breath.
Definite frustrating night at Oracle. Olynyk unable finish, and it's Warrior ball. So Olynyk got inside.
Well, let's see what happens here.
First he travels. Curry three. Ticking iron, and Rozier comes out of the pack. Jerebko with Olynyk trailing, and he'll shoot the three.
Oh, that's got to be a foul on Jerebko.
It is.
A little wild here. But you got to beat the Celtics. You're not going to beat the officials. You got to play right through it. Take what it is and limit your mistakes.
Warriors are working on a 6-point fourth quarter.
They're also working on 23 points off turnovers they've given up. There he is.
Barbosa three. That was needed. Celtics will take time. 6:18 left.
Brad Stevens does not want the Warriors to get a run going. How about Barbosa this half?
They are beyond being tested. The Celtics are trying to snap the streak.
This team continues to chase history in yet another must-see matchup of stellar point guards, with Steph Curry battling Damian Lillard and Portland. Warriors Blazers Sunday at 4 on CSN Bay Area and streaming on csnbayarea.com and NBC Sports Live Extra.
Celtics lead at 7 with 6:18 left. Our Taco Bell Liv Moss hysteria moment. A couple years ago over Chris Humphries, Stephen Curry with a game winner to beat the Celtics. And they may need that kind of heroics tonight. Draymond, Klay Thompson, Brandon Rush with Barbosa and Steph Curry. Klay or Brandon is the power forward right now.
Well, they've got shooters in there.
Stollinger, Jerebko, Evan Turner, and Marcus Smart and Isaiah Thomas. And the Celtics throw it away. So down 7, we check in with Roz.
In that timeout, Steve Kerr was unbothered. He said, guys, we can make this up in 2 minutes. 1 minute, just be smart, execute, we're good.
Klay Thompson, short off iron. Klay is 5 of 14 tonight.
Not from lack of effort. He did everything he could there. Just didn't get it over the front of the rim. A heck of a move.
Isaiah Thomas is in as the closer with his 18 points in the third. And shot the air ball. Sullinger is fouled. With this small a unit, rebounding is going to be at a premium.
And that switch on Isaiah Thomas brought Draymond away from the rim. And certainly he's their best rebounder with this unit. I mean, I'll tell you what, they're going to need Klay to stay back in there. But he can't leave his man. Avery Bradley's getting ready to check back in.
Well, you have one of the craziest oddities you're going to have in a game. The Warriors are 17 of 34 on threes. They're shooting 50% on threes, but they're trailing by 8 because they're negative 8 in points off turnovers. And the free throws are 28 to 10.
The Celtics have made 10 more free throws than the Warriors now. Made 10. By the way, Brad Stevens' group just went smaller, okay? They bring in Bradley, so they're playing 3 guards. That might help the Warriors. We'll see.
Draymond to the rim and a blocking foul. And an opportunity for a three-point play.
That might be a mistake. Because Bradley's not going to be the rebounder, Jerebko. In the restricted area. And he moved anyway. He could have been outside the restricted area. It's still a block.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is he in a legally set defensive position as Draymond begins the shooting motion? And that's the gather dribble on. That's the easiest block you're going to have. And a three-point play completed.
6-point game. You're back in it. This is critical here. If you can stay with your own man. Isolation.
Sullinger turning the corner. Kind of a wild shot and tipped in.
That is one heck of a tip in. Was that Smart or Sullinger?
See who they credited to. They were both up there.
It might be Smart.
Draymond three. Got it! Five-point game. They had trailed by 10 a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, that was Sullinger for the tip. He can jump quickly.
Isaiah Thomas having it knocked away. Steph took it. Throw ahead Barbosa. Celtics are back. Draymond trailed three again, and it's offline. Long way to go with 4:20 left.
I love the way Klay jump switches there, turns him back.
Evan Turner blocked by Brandon Rush. Curry in transition.
You got numbers, and there it is.
Brandon corner three. Draymond rebound, laid in.
Here they went small too. They could have used Jerebko on that rebound.
The building pulsating. Everyone standing. Celtics maintaining the three-point lead. Isaiah Thomas shot clock at 3, fell down, lost the ball. Push ahead rush. He lost it. It would have been a layup. And instead it's a 4-point swing. A disaster. Instead of down 1, you're down 4. Make it 5. Missed opportunity, and Steve Kerr will use the timeout. 3:14 left. The guys in green have been really good, and they've also been really fortunate.
Well, they get the turnover, and I believe Rush is thinking he's going to throw it to Steph Curry. He never really got control of the ball.
And so the Warriors down 5. Celtic lead at 5. Is that the back-breaking sequence that upends the Warriors? Our big plays the Togo's way. How physical have they been with Stephen Curry tonight? Everywhere the MVP has gone, they have held on, banged, bumped, and been all over Curry to the point where he's got blood and scratches all over the body. He still has 27 points. But in the final 3:14, he's going to need to extricate himself, find some space, and the Warriors look it up at the 5-point deficit.
Yeah, it was a 3-point game. Could have cut it 99-98. The turnover at about the 3:20 mark, and then led to the Isaiah Thomas layup. So at 3:14, it's a 5-point deficit, 96-101.
Barnes back in with Draymond, Livingston, Steph and Klay. Livingston down the lane. Draymond didn't want the 3. Good closeout on Curry. 1-foot runner off glass, and Sullinger with a rebound.
Okay, you got to defend without fouling here. You've got a foul to give. You want to save it. You don't want to waste it, especially when they run the shot clock down right now.
Thomas hanging and missing. Klay with a D. Klay Thompson 3.
We have to wonder, is it their night?
54 straight home wins. And the Celtics up 5 with the ball with 2:20 left.
This is a big possession.
Turner nowhere to go and made it anyway.
They're just making shots when they need to.
They can work on Isaiah Thomas and they'll draw the foul. That's only the 4th team foul. Evan Turner was 17 tonight.
You're still in it here, but that was...
Can't play him any better than that.
I was going to say, that's a hope shot. And he got it. Got to give him credit. He stayed with it.
Clay, good look again. Got it.
Back of the screen for Livingston. Nice play. Nice play they ran there. An exchange.
Oracle exhorts the defense.
You need a stop. Got to help out.
Sullinger pulling his way inside and flipping it up and out. Curry pushing. Steph through the traffic, took the bump, laid it in. Boston takes time. Curry bumps, grabbed, pushed, laid it in anyway, and it's a 2-point game. Stephen Curry's first 2-pointer of the night. Had been all threes. He weaves his way through to make it a 2-point game. 54 straight home wins. Minute 29 left. Trailing by a deuce.
His first score in over 6 minutes on the floor. Just about 6 minutes when he came back in the fourth. I've never seen Sullinger, I've never seen anybody move Draymond Green like Sullinger did. But he stayed with it and forced the miss. And Clay got a big rebound.
Amir Johnson is in. Sullinger is out now.
This is a tough matchup for Harrison. Isaiah didn't challenge him.
And they want Smart on Curry. Warriors do have a foul to give. Turner from the elbow.
They lost track of him. Well, now you have to score, and then you got to stop them. That would have been a good time to get the foul, but they were there too late anyway. He'd have had free throws on his shooting.
Shot clock at 9. Clay trying to spring free. Bradley right with him. And Johnson knocking it out of bounds.
He's a tough defender, too.
Only 5 to shoot.
All right. Let's see the out-of-bounds play. Brad Stevens knows them. So now they're going to play top and low. Isaiah Thomas going to take anybody that comes out.
Curry, corner 3. Off iron. Barnes, the rebound. New 24. Steph and Livingston inside. He's denied and fouled.
Well, Stephen Curry was coming on a down screen. They just switched, and that's what allowed Livingston to roll to the basket there. Well thought out and well executed. I love what Draymond did. He was patient. Livingston needs these 2 free throws.
Sean has been very good on the season at 85%. Drops them both in. Single possession game. This is Isaiah Thomas time. They're looking for Thomas. Curry fought over the screen. Draymond knocked it away.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's apparently a rugby game.
You gotta be kidding me.
Draymond got the ball. It's got a timeout.
Draymond Green. You said it best. I thought he just hammered Amir Johnson. Wrestling to the floor. Let's watch it. I thought he was given the foul, in fact.
He knocked the ball away, then dives on top, then got the ball.
And calls a timeout.
And so Draymond Green, with the craziest play of the night, This has been an amazing effort by Boston. Turnovers a problem for the Warriors. Very odd whistle. You just got to say that with a free throw disparity at 15 free throws, and yet you got a 2-point game.
And you've got possession of the ball.
Right.
You cannot run out the clock. 30.4 seconds to go. You do have to score, and then Boston, with the timeout left, they've got a 22nd. They could get it at half court. You got to play a little defense, but first you have to score. That's the main thing.
Well, Stephen Curry's had a crazy night with the 8 threes. The driving 2, 29 for the MVP to go with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. He had 21 in the third, but they were all threes until the killer drive in the fourth quarter.
Well, the big offensive rebound, as we see Curry knocking down that long one back in the third. But Harrison Barnes got a tremendous offensive rebound off that missed corner 3. And it resulted in Livingston getting 2 free throws.
So 7-second difference, game clock and shot clock right now. I'll be very curious how Steve Kerr wants to play this.
Celtics cannot give a foul. They have 2 20-second timeouts left. The Warriors have 1 20-second time left.
Play Draymond Livingston with Barnes and Curry.
Well, if Curry gets to look at a 3, he'll go for it. But, oh my gosh.
Draymond lost it and committed the foul.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's a simple game tonight, a game story.
Well, you got to foul again because that was the foul to give.
Yes, but here's the deal. The story tonight's turnovers. The one by Rush could have made it a 2-point game. That would have made it a 1-point game, and that one there, right? I just don't understand it.
Nothing to do with Boston. Draymond just dropped the ball. They want a foul.
You got a foul. Unless you can get a jump or something.
And they do commit the foul on Evan Turner. Turner, 83% free thrower. He is 2 of 2 tonight. Warriors need 1 miss.
Just straightening out the foul, which is on Curry.
And also 30-second infectious disease control with the cut on Amir Johnson's elbow. But the Celtics plus 10 on points off turnovers and plus 7 from the foul line. That 17-point advantage negated by the Warriors 19-8 in terms of made threes. Well, and yet both teams are shooting 46% from the field.
They've been perfect at home. They've been pretty perfect all year long when you really look at the big picture. But they haven't been perfect tonight. And the Celtics have taken advantage. And that's the way it goes. But they're not out of it. Unless Evan Turner makes it a 2-possession game. Then it's going to be tough. Then you got to score quickly. And I wouldn't even go for 3. If he makes both free throws, I'd go for a quick 2 and foul again.
Warriors still have a timeout remaining. Boston has 2. And the first free throw is down. Turner with 20, Sellinger with 20, Thomas with 20. Curry with 29, Draymond 16, Clay 15.
You'll see his career high in free throws this year.
Makes them both. 2-possession ball game. Final 15 seconds. Harrison open corner 3. Get a foul again. Boston's going to use the timeout and advance it to the front court.
Changes everything. Because even if they make the 2 free throws, you've got the timeout left. That was very smart. Didn't call it there for the Warriors. And then you can tie it with a 3.
So 20-second timeout by the Celtics. And you're going to foul, go for a steal, you foul right away.
Absolutely. You go for a steal. If you don't get it, you get the foul.
And then, even if Boston were to make 2 free throws, you use your timeout, move in the front court, and go for the 3 to tie it.
That's the scenario. And then we'd see if Boston chooses to give a foul, and make the Warriors shoot 2 free throws rather than attempt a 3. And I think Brad Stevens will do it. We'll see.
How are you trailing in a game where you're 20 of 41 on threes?
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, turnovers.
Unbelievable.
Turnovers and free throws. And nothing, you know, Boston's missed enough free throws to give you a chance tonight, but the turnovers have, to me, have been the story. And the one that would have put it 99-98, the last one by Draymond. So, but you got to live with it.
So 10 seconds left.
He's got a chance here.
They want Isaiah Thomas at 88% to get the ball. And he has it now, and he lays it in.
Well, that should have never happened. They need to grab him, do something. They never saw the ball. They threw it over the top of the head. They face guarded. They face guarded him.
It's the same thing as him making 2 free throws.
Yeah, that's true.
They went for the steal, and to Boston's credit, they made the pass over the top.
They never saw the ball there, and Stephen went for the ball. Thought he had a steal possibility.
So 8.3, and I will tell you right now, the Celtics should foul on the catch.
Yep.
They should not let the best three-point shooting team in the league attempt a 3. Just flat out.
And I'm not sure how Brad Stevens plays this. Some coaches in this league do not believe in fouling. Steve Kerr definitely would foul in this situation.
So the mission is clear. You need a 3. And you need it right now.
I'd still rather give that foul a little sooner and at least make him make 2 free throws and give him a layup. But that's water over the dam.
So 8 seconds to try to force overtime. They beat Utah in overtime.
I'd be satisfied with Stephen Curry getting fouled on a 3 with a 90% shooter.
Boston should foul whoever catches the ball.
Oh, what in the world?
What is going on out here? Steph, a 3 to tie it. Oh! Harrison turnaround, and Boston wins. So the Celtics win. The 54-game home winning streak is over. The Warriors go to 68-8. And we have a new way of playing basketball, apparently, because you got to watch the inbounds here. And I don't know what sport we were watching. You had bodies. This is before the ball's impounded. That's the very end of the play.
Yeah, we've got to see the inbounds pass. Harrison made a valiant effort there, but I'm not even sure he got it off in time.
So you had,
is that Turner that falls down?
First of all, it's 2 free throws before the ball's inbounded. If you foul somebody before you inbound the ball, you get 2 free throws and possession of the ball.
Stephen got what he wanted out of it. He got a look. Harrison got it off in time to no avail.
I mean, you had a car crash happening before the play even started.
Evan Turner had a flat tire, slipped on the shoes, on the floor again, and swept everybody off their feet.
Wow. You can just body roll people, apparently. Very interesting. 109-106. Celtics, an amazing road win. The Warriors' streak is over, and the pursuit of the Bulls is put on hold. Warrior Postgame Live, presented by Honda, coming your way from Oracle after the Celtics upset the Dubs.
Well, they are a proud franchise, the Boston Celtics, and tonight they do something that has not been done since January the 27th of a year ago, and they give the Warriors their 8th loss of the year, but most significantly, their first one here at Oracle, and the streak of 54 consecutive home wins is over, and they do it for one of the great teams in NBA history, and the Warriors still go to 68-8 now, so they still need 5 more victories, and they've only got 1 more loss to play with. But not showing up on that list is the 85-86 Boston Celtics. They were the only team in the history of the NBA to play a full 41 games at home and lose just one time. Several other teams lost once, but that team was 40-1, a 67-win team. They would beat the Houston Rockets to win the NBA title exactly 30 years ago, and now this current group of Brad Stevens saved their mark as the best home record, and the Warriors will not go to 41-0 at home this year. Welcome to Honda Warriors postgame live from the Crown Royal Club, where they're filing out here wondering what happened. And the Warriors were sloppy with the ball, Saint. There were 22 turnovers in total. A lot of big plays, but for me, there were two major turnovers. Brandon Rush in the open floor, down 99-96, fumbles the ball away. And Isaiah Thomas on the other end gets a layup. And then on that pick and roll, Draymond Green later in the game also fumbled the ball away. The Warriors made 23s tonight, Saint, but they were very sloppy early in the game. They tried to scramble to save it, but tonight is the one night here at home they couldn't save themselves.
Well, it was one of those NBA games. The turnovers were the key to me. You know, those are opportunities to score that get thrown by the wayside. When you make 23s, you think you're going to win at home. But you must credit Boston. I thought their wing defenders were exceptional. And then on the offensive end, they had the ability to create the switch. What I mean is they kept constantly making the Warrior big guard one of their smalls, and they got in positions where they could draw and kick or post up Sullinger. I thought they had a great game plan, and they played exceptionally well. Steph was terrific, but you didn't have anybody else that played an upper echelon game for the Warriors.
All right, we'll break it all down, all the big plays. We'll get inside the Warrior locker room and hear from Steve Kerr. But here it is, the Celtics of 30 years ago, and several other teams before they went to 82-game schedules had home records with one loss, but the most games played with just one loss. And Boston that year lost on the parquet to the Portland Trailblazers.
Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, Clyde Drexler in that group. So it's the Warriors wanted 73 very badly, but they also wanted 41-0 at home. Let's go down courtside, bring in Bob Fitzgerald and Jim Barnett. I know, Jim, you were hoping here late in the year, once it became a possibility, to win every single home game, but in the end, Boston played really well, took the Warriors out of their comfort zone in a lot of areas, and I looked to a couple of huge turnovers. The Brandon Rush fumble fits when they were down 99-96 to make it a one-point game. Isaiah scores on the other end, and also the pick and roll where Draymond Green just dropped the ball there.
No, I mean, that's the story of the game, is plus 12 for Boston on turnovers and 30-13 from the foul line favoring the Celtics. You got to give Boston a ton of credit. Their defense is as good as advertised, third best in the league. The Warriors' D was pretty solid, but the job they did on Steph and Clay in that first half, and you can't have those empty possessions down the stretch in a game this tight.
Yeah, when it gets down to it, they had a chance to win this game. They had a chance to get within one. It was 99-96, 3:20 to go on that fast break play where Brandon Rush had the angle, lost the ball. They would have been down by one at that point. Instead, they were down by 5. 5 turnovers in the fourth quarter, and 2 of them in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And, of course, the last one critical like that. Not only do you not get a chance to score, then the other team scores off that. That's the story of the game tonight. I thought they fought valiantly, came back. It's an anomaly for them to make 23s tonight on, I think, 43 attempts. I mean, tremendous three-point shooting, and yet lose this game. I'll tell you, it's Boston after it's a back-to-back game. Yep. They had to play right down tooth and nail 48 minutes last night in Portland. It was a close game until the last minute and a half. You got to give them a lot of credit. They did, Saint, make the Warriors uncomfortable tonight. The Warriors were uncomfortable on offense the entire night, with the exception of that third quarter when Curry got it going.
And you think about it, in Boston, double overtime tonight, right down to the last possession. The Celtics played the Warriors extraordinarily well. And the good thing with the close score is the league will issue their officiating review for the final couple minutes of the game. That should make for some very interesting reading tomorrow.
And I'm also going to bring up, why is everybody slipping on the floor like that, okay? You use your own imagination. Do you think there's water on the floor? I mean, guys today, they look like they were on skates catching an edge, skiing, or whatever it may be. I'll leave it up to your discretion.
No, that's the new defense. Just slide and take people out. It works out for everybody.
I thought when the Warriors went to Salt Lake City, they had a Disney on Ice show here or something, because there was like ice underneath it, saying, let's go to crunch time. And the play we're talking about, when they get the fast break here, Brandon Rush has the angle, and he simply lost the dribble, Saint, and Isaiah Thomas has a gimme. To me, that's the single biggest play of the game tonight.
4-point swing right there. You turn it over, and the other team comes right back and gets a layup with Isaiah Thomas. And You know, those are the ones you got to convert. That, to me, is where you miss Andre Iguodala. Now, that is a tough shot right there by Turner.
Clay will answer back on the other end, saying, and you're bound 103-99. Great defense inside, and a tough defensive rebound by Steph Curry. And behind the back, that's the first two-pointer he made and the only two-pointer he made all night. But again, Evan Turner right from the elbow there with a big shot to make it 105-101. The big steal, throwing Amir Johnson down. Draymond stole the ball. Draymond stole the ball. That was a big-time play, and they let a lot of physicality go tonight, Saint. There's no doubt about it.
Frankly, I like it at the end of the game. Let the players win the game.
And here's the second biggest play of the game. Coming out of it, you think you have a chance here. They run that 1-4 pick and roll, or 1-5, I guess, with Draymond playing center. He gets the ball, and he just lost the dribble the way Brandon Rush did, Saint.
Sometimes you take your eye off of it. You're putting it down before you catch it. And, you know, that was a big play. When you turn it over in the last 2 minutes a couple of times, that's a tough chore. But look
left
at
corner
Draymond,
this time, Saint Lee.
Harrison rises to the occasion.
So you think you have a chance at 107-106, but Steph Curry goes for the steal there, and there's nobody underneath. Draymond is not there to guard the basket as Steph went for the steal there, and Isaiah Thomas, bodies all over the floor. Steph gets a good look. They get the rebound. And Harrison Barnes, he could have handed off to Steph there, saying as opposed to going back with his momentum going away would have been the play.
Well, you had the best player in the league wide open for a three, and he had been hot all night. Around the rim and out, you might have had enough time to toss it back to him. I'm not quite sure, but here's the play again. That's a good late-game situation. You got a first down there.
Bodies everywhere.
Bodies everywhere, and here we got a little handoff. And, yeah, that's deep, but he made those all night long.
Great rebound. And now here's where Barnes just handed off to Steph and let him shoot, set a screen on Marcus Smart. But you take that stepping back, you're not going to get any momentum into it. So
feel for the clock.
Congratulations to the Celtics. Yeah. Again, they played last night in Portland. They did not play Jay Crowder tonight. He was arguably their most complete player on both ends of the floor. And just watching the game, the Warriors were doing things tonight they typically don't do. Mo Bucket's trying to go inside. They took the shot away. Boston, and you used the term, made the Warriors uncomfortable tonight with their length and their quick foot moving on defense. Their guards, Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley, can guard.
Well, we always talk about the width of Diaw. Well, we saw super width tonight with Sullinger, and he had his way backing everybody into the paint and had 18 points, did a yeoman's job in the paint. But what impressed me were Turner, Smart, and Bradley being able to get up and pressure consistently all night long on Clay. Now, Steph got going, and there wasn't anybody that was going to stop him. But those three guys did the job defensively. And again, Isaiah Thomas, you know what he's going to do. He's going to put points up on the board. He kept creating the switch situation where he had a big guarding him, and he just took him off the dribble. And for his size, Pop, he really finishes in the paint very well.
He had a miserable first half. He did not score in the first half. He was 0 for 7. He went nuts, though, in the third quarter, scored 18 points. And then he made the big baskets at the end when Rush dropped the ball and when Steph went for the steal. The two big baskets there late in the game, the little guy made both of them.
Yeah, when you got a side out of bounds situation, the Warriors were in a complete overplay. The way you defeat that is to throw it over the top. So there's nobody between you and the hoop because all the Warrior players are denying. They got that pass over the top. The rotation was late by, I think, Draymond. And again, Isaiah finished inside. Listen, this guy's really playing at a high level for them, and they've got a lot of defenders around them. They play hard. They played smart. I really like their team.
We're also worried tonight about Andrew Bogut.
Yes.
He got run into by Avery Bradley. Curiously, Bogut was called for the foul. And our injury alert right now is the Andrew Bogut injury. And it's a rib injury. He did go for x-rays here. I don't know how. He is called for the foul here and not Avery Bradley. But this happened third quarter. Bradley just ran right into him. And Bogut reaches for the ribs. He went back into the locker room. And he never came back out. And they did send him for x-rays. And we'll find out as soon as we hear from Steve Kerr. But how do you call the foul there on Andrew Bogut?
That's crazy. What Bradley's supposed to do there is get his inside shoulder and lock and trail on Steph or Clay. He just went face shoulder to shoulder right with Bogut. Down went the both of them, and how that was on Bogues is beyond me.
All right, we'll hear from Steve Kerr. We'll get you the very latest on the rib injury with Andrew Bogut. Remember, a couple of years ago, Bogut hurt his ribs late in the year, tangling with the manimal, Kenneth Faried, and then one of the last games of the year, he fractured a rib in Portland and wound up missing the postseason. We'll get you the very latest on Andrew Bogut on Honda Warriors Post.
Dave Feldman, Ahmed Fareed, Sportsnet Central next.
Bob Melvin, Bruce Bochy, together. One interview, one Brody Brazil. Hear what they have to say.
Mark Davis, Raiders owner, on a plane somewhere. Where? We'll talk about.
Where he was, you're not always supposed to talk about. That's your clue. Papa knows what I'm talking about. Back to the Papa Bear and the Saint at Oracle.
All right, Feldy, what stays at Oracle stays at Oracle, I guess. Our BMW turning point, Brandon Rush, 3:20 and change to go. Just lost the dribble. Isaiah Thomas is up the floor. That's a bad turnover. And then later on, you get a reprieve. Just one dribble, and the ball just jumped up like a Super Bowl. And Avery Bradley was there to steal it. And then you're down 105-103. Great pick and roll, and Draymond drops the ball. And the foul occurs there, and you don't recover. So those are two of the Warriors' 22 turnovers tonight. Steph Curry committed 5 turnovers in the game's first 6 minutes tonight, and he wound up with 9. He also scored 29 points and made 8 threes in the game. But the Warriors wind up losing. They were out free throw tonight, 19-10, as Boston shot 30 free throws to the Warriors 13. But it was a lot of turnovers, something the coach typically does not like, and those two in the fourth quarter cost you the home streak. Brandon Rush and Draymond Green. Let's get reaction right now from the head coach of the Warriors. They're still 68-8.
Steve, was tonight a night where the turnovers finally caught up with you guys among
Yeah. I mean, 22 turnovers that led to 27 points. Our execution was really bad. A lot of that had to do with their defense, and I thought they were fantastic. That's a really good team. They played great defense on the perimeter, especially, and got us out of sync. And we just weren't able to get a rhythm until it was really late, and then we needed to make every play, and we didn't do that. So it's the way it goes.
You're still 68-8.
Yeah. All right.
So what's the message like and the feeling in the locker room? Did you keep it light?
Well, everybody's bummed. No, I congratulated them. Are you kidding me? They just won 54 home games in a row. I mean, what our guys have accomplished is incredible. I don't know if people understand the intensity it takes and the work that it takes to put together a streak like that. To compete night in and night out when you're worn out, and it takes a lot out of you, and especially when every game is the other team's biggest game. I mean, people are coming after us, and so I told the guys how proud I am of them for putting together an amazing streak, and we got beat. Boston outplayed us. They deserved to win, and so we'll start over on Sunday.
Could this be a blessing then? Does it take the pressure off?
I don't think it's a blessing, but I think, our execution hasn't been for a while. I mean, we had 22 turnovers tonight. I think we had like 18 or 19 in Utah, 20-something before the game before that. We've been slipping the last couple weeks. I think people have seen that. It's probably only natural to have some slippage given the number of games we've had and the point of the season and just the wear and tear and playing without Andre has been tough, even though I think we've won maybe 10 out of 12 or something, but we miss Andre, especially in a game like this, settling us down, getting us organized. So we know what we have to improve upon. I thought we played hard eventually. We didn't play hard the first part of the game. We eventually got there, but it was too late, especially against a good team.
For a team that plays as good on the perimeter as Boston does, were you dissatisfied with the number of threes you took, that maybe you were a little impatient offensively, not trying to go to the ball?
I was dissatisfied with the offense, whether it was threes or twos. That doesn't bother me. I don't care how many threes we take. We made 20. I mean, 20 out of 43. It's a pretty good percentage. It wasn't that. We weren't cutting, we weren't screening. And when you play a team that's great on the perimeter defensively, and they're going to get underneath you and take you off your cuts, you have to be the aggressor. You have to put them on their heels with good, sharp cuts. And I thought the whole game, until maybe the last 5 minutes, Boston was the aggressor. We were fouling like crazy. They were defending without fouling. They were getting underneath us and really being solid. And we just weren't cutting and screening and doing the things we normally do. But like I said, that's something that's probably been slipping a little bit the last couple of weeks anyway.
All right, when we come back on Honda Warriors Postgame Live, we will get an update on Andrew Bogut. The results of the X-rays are in, and we'll tell you where that's going to go. A lot more coming your way, and then Sportsnet Central will come your way with Feldy and Fareed at 10:37. Here's your injury alert and the very latest on Andrew Bogut as he collides here. He gets run into by Avery Bradley. Andrew Bogut had X-rays. The X-rays are negative, which is good news, but they're going to have additional testing and MRI and just see what is the severity of the ribs. Remember, he did break his ribs late in the season 2 years ago. The season they lost to the Clippers in 7, he was unavailable to play. And like this injury, it occurred very late in the year up in Portland. So if we find out anything more, but it'll probably be coming tomorrow or on Sunday. So the Warriors suffer their 8th loss of the year, their first here at home. They're 36-1. San Antonio not playing. So the Warriors still have a magic number of 3 to wrap up the #1 seed. They still need 4 more victories to tie and 5 more to break that record, and they can only endure 1 more loss. Otherwise, they're not going to break that record, and they still got to play San Antonio 1 more time. Steph Curry scored 29. He made 8 threes tonight, but he also turned the ball over 9 times, and he had a...
Yeah, no question about it. He talked about things weren't going well. He switched shoes, and things were different for him in the second half.
We're going to hear that soundbite in just a second. Isaiah bum rushing the rim and scoring. And he kept the pedal to the metal. This was Boston's MO all night.
Aggressive attack, don't back off.
And Boston built a 5-point lead. Steph Curry had 21 in the third.
Well, I love the focus for Steph. When things don't go well, his teammates continue to look for him, and there goes the splash.
I saw him leave it there, DZ.
Yes, sir. Leave it again. You never want to go under screens with Steph.
Not even from out there?
Not even from out there. He's proven to us now he can make it as soon as he crosses half court.
29 points, 8 threes.
There it is again. You go for the pump fake. He steps right into it and knocks down another one.
Golden State took a 1-point lead. We're off to the 4th. Marcus Smart. Look at this tough hoop.
And they needed a basket badly at that time to kind of hold Golden State off, who was coming after him, and that was a big bucket.
Step back 3 from Smart. 10-point lead, largest of the game for Boston, but here comes Draymond Green and the Warriors.
They keep coming at you. That's why you got to continue to score as they try to get back in the ball game.
Warriors in transition. Wow, Brandon Rush lost the handle. And up ahead to Isaiah Thomas, and he scores. Boston back up by 5. Now, under 2 minutes to go. We got a 4-point game. Look at this slick move by Steph Curry. We got a 2-point game.
He doesn't only take threes, he takes it to the rack.
Now, Evan Turner hit a couple of free throws to put Golden State up 4, and then Stephen Curry. Oh, he's got Barnes in the corner.
Love his leadership. A lot of people expect Steph to take that shot. That was the right play. Harrison Barnes wide open in the corner.
1-point game, 10.2 to go. And then the pass into Isaiah Thomas, hanging and hitting. Draymond Green was coming over for the swat, but Isaiah wasn't having it.
No, wasn't having a nice little pause there in the air as Draymond flies by. And Steph, yes, I had this feel in my hand.
3-point game, 8.3. Take me through this final sequence.
Well, Boston did an excellent job of chasing him off the 3-point line 2 different times. And the next offensive rebound, there's a guy right there challenging him, which normally on an offensive rebound, there's somebody open at the 3-point line.
This is not an April Fool's joke. It is a streak-busting win For Isaiah and the Celtics, they end the Warriors' 54-game regular season home winning streak and end a 5-game losing streak to the Dubs with a 109-106 victory in Saturday's marquee matchup. You can see it at 5 o'clock here on NBA TV. Boston now 12-6 in the second of back-to-backs. Golden State's 36-0 home start is the third best in NBA history. J.A. Adonde caught up with Isaiah after this historic win.
We just tried to make it tough on these guys. We're a defense-minded team, and that's what we did tonight. I mean, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, those guys are hell of a players. But at the same time, we got first team all defense, Avery Bradley and Marcus Smart. They did their job, and as a team, we just settled down and got a win in a hostile environment.
How aware were you of all the stuff that's going on? Obviously, we know their pursuit of 73 wins and their home winning streak. How much is that in your guys' mind as you prepare to play this team?
I mean, we're aware of it, but that wasn't really in our mind. We just wanted to come out here and get a win for us. We've been on a 2-game losing streak. We lost a tough one to Portland last night, and we wanted to win this game. We knew how important it was to us. And then on top of all the 73 games and them having a winning streak on the home court, we wanted to stop that.
There's a reason why for 20-plus years, nobody's been able to put together a season like Chicago did that one year. And, people come close, but games like tonight, if they go, if they don't go your way, it kind of hit you in the face a little bit. So we still have a great opportunity to finish out the season strong. We have to focus on that, starting tomorrow and be ready to go.
So the streak ends at 54, but the San Antonio Spurs are right on their heels with the second longest home winning streak in the regular season in NBA history. By the way, the 95-96 Bulls ripped off 44 consecutive regular season home wins. Not a bad look for DZ's Magic back in 95-96.
We had it going. The same year we had it going, but obviously the Bulls kept it going.
You only lost one game at home all year, right?
All year long.
Unbelievable. All right, so here's the remaining schedule for the Warriors. 4 of 6 at home. And the Warriors need to go 5-1 in these final 6 games to finish 73-9 and break the 95-96 Bulls record for best regular season record in league history.
Yeah, you see they have the advantage of being 4 of those games in their building, but 5 out of those 6 teams are playoff teams.
Yeah, playoff teams, so it's all about, like Steve Kerr's talked about, is it rest or keeping that continuity going? So let's face it, get the record, get the championship and lose it, or not get the record and win the championship. I think they'd rather have the second one, but at the end of the day, let's be healthy.
In light of this loss to Boston here on April Fool's Day, do you still like their chances?
I do. They're hungry for it. They're hungry, and this one, I'm sure they feel that this one got away. With all the turnovers that they had in the game, they allowed Boston to hang around. They're looking back saying, wow, Boston played the night before in Portland, flew in. We should have had the energy coming out, not them in the building. And the turnovers allowed Boston to hang around early on when they really weren't scoring early on. And then they built up momentum. The longer they hung around, they realized we have a chance to knock them off in their building, and that's what happened.
So Jay Crowder missed the game, resting. He returned on Thursday after missing 8 games with an ankle injury with a double-double. He intends to play Sunday against the Lakers. So Evan Turner got the start in this one against Golden State, went 21-5-5, and made clutch hoops down the stretch.
Confident basketball down the stretch. Opportunity knocks on the door, and Evan Turner says, let me in, let me take advantage of it. So as you're watching these plays, he knows exactly where he wants to get on the floor. He understands Golden State's defense is good. He understands Harrison Barnes' size. But when you're playing with such confidence and Brad Stevens puts you in situations, that play right there lets me know you throw the ball to Marcus Smart in the post, Evan Turner comes off the weak side, catches the ball, shoots the ball with confidence, stays in attack mode, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Pretty impressive down the stretch.
All right, Czar of the Telestrator, break down the inbounds play that Boston got that layup to Isaiah Thomas.
So often close games come down to one critical play. And for Boston, it was getting it inbounds at the end. Brad Stevens likes to clear out the front court. He'll often move 1 or 2 players over the half-court line the other side to see if the defenders will go with them. Marcus Smart had the ball out of bounds on the side. What Golden State did is they face-guarded, took the man off the ball, played 3 against 2. Well, Marcus Smart is trying to read this defense. Isaiah Thomas starts to come towards the ball, realizes he can't get it, so he's going to back cut and go the other way. Golden State's relying on Steph Curry defending in the lane to read two players. If he sees the lob pass, go